and Toy Daddies, TPC and Toy Daddies.
Welcome to the ToyPic Community Top 10, brought to you by the Toy Daddies.
Hey, what's going on, man? Hi, ToyPic community. It is 2/3 of your Toy Daddies. No worries. Father of Laserman, Toy.Father will be joining us at some point this evening. But guys, I am so excited because we have a spectacular guest this evening. I can't. Sure, do you want to? Yeah, I'm giddy. I'm giddy. As a guy that is sitting, has a his tank sitting behind him, a vamp over there, a dragonfly on, ordered through for the hats, and just my GI Joes all at my feet right now. I'm super stoked. I'm super stoked to pick the brain of this wonderful person.
It's going to be great. She's worked on so many different brands that, touch everyone's hearts. Power Rangers, Ghostbusters, D&D, of course, G.I. Joe, as mentioned. And people in the chat, don't worry. Chris will be joining us at some point, but you have two of your top two favorite Toy Daddies in the house talking to you because we showed up on time.
Right. Right. And we have to remember that so it's Toy.Father is out actually gallivanting and celebrating his Mezco Monday win. So that's really what he's doing right now.
He's on a boat.
In my face.
Even though it's like wintry, he's on a boat. Always is.
Yep.
That's a running joke. He's not really on a boat. He's being an adult. He has a job and he's doing work like responsible things.
Exactly. But yeah, let's so as you guys know, we have this wonderful guest coming up and we don't like to waste any time. So, let's just do it, man. Do the drum roll. We're getting the soundboard one of these days, but the brrr.
Oh, that's perfect. I'm gonna clip that. That'll be it sounds terrible. Let's bring her in. If you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat. We'll star them and ask them as we go along. All right. So welcome to what do we call this? The top 10. Oh, we should have a better name. It's TPC Top 10 with the Toy Daddies. It's very long, but welcome to the stage, Emily.
Yay!
Thank you so much for having me tonight. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you so much for giving us some of your time this evening. This is a very exciting for us. And as I told you right before we started, anytime we get to pick the brain of somebody that is working in the industry that, again, what we love. We just love our toys. We love all of this. And this is just so fascinating whenever we get to, just figure out, I don't know, what's going on behind the scenes, how the things happen, your whole journey, all of that good stuff. So
I am happy to talk about anything that you would like.
All right,
within reason. My limitations, what I can't talk about because PR will come smack my hand.
So this is a good time to remind our wonderful chat that any questions that you guys have over the course of the show, we will be starring them off. We'll make sure Emily, again, as we do our own little moderation of what we'll bring up to her. But yeah, we're super excited that you're here. And man, I'm sure you've done this before, but where did your journey begin into working in the toy industry?
Oh, yeah. So spoiler alert, this is 100% not what I thought I would do with my life. So my undergraduate degrees, I politely referred to it as the trifecta of useless knowledge. So I have degrees in sociology, classical studies, which means I spent 4 years learning Latin and I'm still terrible at it. And then I have a minor in gender studies. And I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, but like every good liberal arts graduate with a, series of artsy degrees, I went into the world of nonprofits. So I worked at the science. So I'm originally from Portland, Oregon. So worked at the Science Museum. It's called OMSI. We have a submarine, no big deal. So I worked there on I led their program for high school students. So basically teaching the kids how to teach others about science, which was really cool. I worked at a theater in a marketing capacity for a while. And then I ended up working at a cat shelter. So I started working I started doing the adoptions, and I worked my way up to kind of the communications and development office, at which point I loved what I was doing, but you totally can't afford to live when you're making minimum wage at a nonprofit and your significant other also is making minimum wage at a nonprofit. You're just like, what are we going to do with our lives? And so it was decided that of the two of us, I had the capacity for, hi, Cocoa Bean. Sorry, the dog is now saying hello. I'm here
Hello,
too.
hello.
She already ate her bribe to stay quiet. So I ended up going to business school so that we could afford to have a better life. And didn't really know what I wanted to do in business school, but I really liked learning and I really hated numbers. No offense to numbers, great in moderation. I would make a terrible investment banker. Like I think we
just
can
as
all
useful as
disagree.
Latin.
Yeah.
Go hand in hand.
Just totally thriving. And so I kind of ended up kind of dabbling in marketing, but what I had a lot of anxiety about going to business school because I really viewed myself as like a giant sellout. I was like, oh, I'm going to be working for the man and I'm giving up on like everything that I value and how depressing. And so I was looking for companies that had really good kind of corporate social responsibility statements and didn't just like talk the talk, but really kind of walk the walk. And so I ended up seeing Hasbro and looking at the website and being like, oh, this is cool. At the time, my brother lived in Rhode Island. So I was like, oh, this is going to work out great for me. And so ended up interning. So I interned on a brand called Play School Heroes, which is now defunct, but it was essentially our licensed preschool brand. So it was preschool Transformers, Marvel, Star Wars, Power Rangers, and Ghostbusters, which was so much fun as like a crash course to the toy industry because all of those brands run so differently. Like I got to do owned and operated. I got to do licensed stuff. I got to learn about like what make toys cool for preschoolers and what separates them from like the older kid toys. And so I loved it. Then I went back to school, got a divorce, graduated in the middle of the pandemic, which was like, whew, that was a lot of a year. And ended up coming back as a temp on Power Rangers. Yes, the Millennium Falcon. Holy smokes, that thing was huge. The first time I saw it, I was just like, this is so cool. And it was kind of that. I decided that I got to bring, this is going to sound so cheesy, but it's the same kind of joy that I felt finding cats new homes. I now got to feel when I realized that like I got to bring people moments of joy through the toys that I was making. And I was like, oh, okay. I feel better about this just in kind of a different way. So interned on Play School Heroes, started as a paternity fill on Power Rangers, was on Power Rangers for a year, got my full-time position on G.I. Joe. I picked up Fortnite at one point. So I was on Fortnite for a couple months. That was a wild adventure. Learned I was pretty good at Fortnite, still play.
Nice.
Plays a Bush Ranger, but he's like, wow, Bush Ranger? I'm like, yeah, Bush Ranger is super cool. And you can change your skin to fit the season. It's like, why wouldn't I want to be a Bush Ranger? And then transitioned off of Fortnite, but picked up Dungeons and Dragons. So I was doing G.I. Joe and D&D, transitioned to a consumer marketing role, and then kind of transitioned back into this hybrid development. Oh, this actually hasn't been publicly announced yet, but I guess I'll talk about it. So I'm now on kind of a hybrid role where I'm still doing consumer marketing for G.I. Joe and Transformers, but I've also picked up some of the Pulse product development. So I'm now working on all of the like non-Disney HasLab development, which is really cool. And I'm like the fan events lead. So I get to work on all the conventions that we're doing. So like we were just at WonderCon last weekend, which was a ton of fun. And I feel like I am just absolutely rambling. But
no,
all good.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that's amazing.
Right. So I just consider myself so lucky. And it's so cool to be somewhere where like I get to work with, yes, I 100% am collecting all the Hasbro departments. I just consider myself so lucky because I get to work with so many fantastically interesting cross-functional teams where everybody's strengths are different. But like I can sit with Lenny and talk to him about a toy idea and he can sketch it on a piece of paper and it can look like what we're talking about. And I just think that that is one of the coolest things in the entire world, because at no point in time is my brain ever going to work like that. Just like, holy smokes, this is magic. So I consider myself incredibly lucky, and especially to get to be a public representative of these brands. Like, I literally never saw myself here, but consider myself to be very blessed.
That's awesome. Oh man. And for the record, I also never put that time into learning how to draw, and I've said in the past, like, this is why I fully embraced toy photography, because all of a sudden all of the different ideas and mashups and all the different things that I had in my mind, that oh man, if I just could draw like a comic artist, like this would be fun, and now I can do it in my figure form, but again, that's a beautiful
so
cool
sentiment. Yeah, I make one heck of a stick figure. Like, anything that I need to express in the world, stick figures, like, I got that on lock.
Yeah, I'm about there. That's I teach 7th and 8th grade, so I have I do ELA. So again, in terms of you and I have very similar background, to the stuff that we were studying, and art history and all of that wonderful all the stuff that, again, like, I appreciate having that experience, but necessarily.
Let me know if you ever. What were we talking about? So we were in New York City for the Ghostbusters premiere a couple weeks ago, and we were walking past a statue, and I offhandedly was like, "Oh, you know why that statue looks so good? Because it's in contrapposto." And everybody that I'm with is just like, "What on earth are you talking about?" So then I got to go into like this. I don't remember much from art history, but I was like, "Well, let me talk to you about statue posing."
Yeah.
Oh, you nerd!
Just enough to be dangerous.
So that is a fascinating, just like, experience. That's really great. And again, congratulations on, it sounds like, again, you're like where you are now. That was a quick rise through the ranks, I suppose, or is that something that you would consider that for yourself? I mean,
I feel like I've learned so much. Technically, I've only gone like one step up the ladder, like from like a title perspective. But I feel like my knowledge base is just so enormous compared to when I started. Like, I had crazy imposter syndrome when I started. I was like, oh my God, everybody knows so much more about me that for all of this, and they're going to figure out that I'm a fraud and I have no idea what I'm talking about. And now I'm kind of like, oh yeah, all right, well, we can at least all fake it the same amount. So this is going to be good.
Isn't that the biggest secret within the business world, is that everyone's kind of faking it?
Oh,
Of course, not the VP level. Well, actually, sometimes the VP levels are faking that their VPs are higher, but like, it's always you're faking it to that next level.
Yes. And I'm sorry, this is Gretchen Potato. She is my very sweet old lady cat, and she has decided that either I will sit here with her in my lap, or she is just going to scream at me. So
that's fine. We're a pet friendly show here.
Well, I recently learned I'm fairly allergic to cats. I didn't realize that until the weekend.
You would truly hate it at my house. There are 4 cats here.
But I didn't even know it. Over the weekend, I was literally holding a cat and just like petting it. And I've pet him like countless times before, but when I got home, I'm like, my eyes are like bloodshot red, and like I'm feeling like puffy. I'm like, oh no.
Late onset. That's how you know you're getting old, Toy Daddy.
Like, are your bones hurting too? Like, are you just gonna start kind of falling apart at the seams?
It's hard to tell. My bones have been hurting since I was about 26. So that was a very early onset old manism.
Well, just for the record, tomorrow, so I have kids that are going to be, I have twins that are going to be 5 in June. So they're, still 4, but tomorrow we're getting the cousins together and going to like one of those trampoline parks. And I was like, I'm going to get a ticket. And but then I was like, I started reading and seeing Reddit comments of like, if you're over 30, you're going to get hurt. I went, oh no.
Well, it depends. It depends. Is it full on trampolines?
Oh yeah, it's like Blippi style.
Yeah, wear knee braces, dude. Good luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna be very gentle. Tomorrow I'm not gonna do a lot of jumping.
I tried to do a run up wall at one of these places before. It was so sad. Like I was hanging. I was like trying to like come on. I just slid down like a child, and then this boy that was like 8 just like flew up there and just like got up to the top. I'm like, damn it.
Youth, the follies of youth.
But yeah, Emily, that is a pretty strong rise. And one thing that clearly seen is that you became the face of all these different properties during the pandemic, and started with all those Pulse fan first events, and it's carried through to this other thing. Was that a surprise part of your role, that you would have to be doing all these lives and having to like across multiple brands? Because at a certain point, it was like, I felt like every month there was like some content that's being rolled out.
It's I had no idea that this was going to happen. So for some backstory, so when I was working on Power Rangers, I was working remotely from the Oregon coast. So I was nowhere near Rhode Island. None of the offices were open. So all of those fan streams that we were doing them from our houses. We're like, okay, I can, whatever. And so I started my temp role. And then the guy that I was covering for, John, his wife, so rude, had the baby 3 weeks early. And he was like, you're good. See you in 6 months. I was like, okay, great. And then a couple weeks go by and we hear from the Pulse team and they're like, hey, so John scheduled a fan stream. So who's going to take care of that? And we're all just like, a what? I'm sorry, a what now? A fan stream. Great. So I was like, I can try. I was really the only marketer on the team at that point. Nobody knew what they were doing. So I said, okay, I can do this. And my boss said, are you sure you can do this? I'm like, no, I'm not sure I can do this. So for that first fan stream that I did, I wrote out a sentence by sentence script of everything that I was going to say. And Joe, who was my boss at the time, we used to do rehearsals. And so he was sitting in rehearsal, watching me go through this, getting more comfortable, kind of ignoring my notes, because the worst thing you can ever do to yourself is write out full sentences in notes. Like, it just kills everything that you're doing. Mm-hmm. And at the end of rehearsal, I remember him going, yeah, you're good. You got this. And then that was it. And I remember recording, and my personal policy now is, we do one take and we're done. Like, mm-hmm. I'm not mucking around with multiple takes unless we drop a toy and one of us swears really loud and we have to cut. We keep going. Mm-hmm. And that was the Power Rangers fan stream that we did on Halloween. And it was when we did Pumpkin Rapper and King Sphinx. And I had this super elaborate, top 10, monster insult and monster scenes. And we were so worried that everybody was going to hate it. And it just went over so well. And then for the rest of the year, we just kind of kept going with what we were doing. We had less and less notes every time we did it. And I just remember thinking, this is so cool. I never thought that I could do this. And so, no, I never thought that I would be the face of a brand. And then I never thought they'd let me be the face of another brand. So the last Power Rangers fan stream that I did, Loretta and I were talking about, I was actually in Rhode Island. I flew out because I'd been ordering samples for a year and didn't want to be a jerk and leave them for whoever was going to have my job next. So I flew out, I organized all the samples, and then Loretta and I did a fan stream from the building. It was my first time in the building since I was an intern. And it was for the Pink Ranger, the MMPR Pink Ranger morpher and helmet. And at the end of the fan stream, because we didn't think I was going to have a job and we thought that I was just going to have to leave Hasbro, they let me morph on camera as the end of that fan stream as a thank you, you're now dismissed kind of a vibe.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking this was so cool. How am I ever going to top this? And then I got the G.I. Joe job, and then I had to move to Rhode Island. And then everybody was so mad at G.I. Joe. And we were like, yeah, we're just going to do a super live PulseCon show. It'll be fun. It's going to be 70 minutes long. We're all like, oh my God, this is where everything is going to go terribly. And you know what? We absolutely killed it. And I think that was the moment where we were like, we've got this. Mm-hmm. And so from there on out, it was just, it feels easy at this point, which is the most spoiled thing in the world that I can say. But I can, again, consider myself to be crazy lucky that I get to be the public face for my team. I get to represent the entire development team who worked so hard on all of this product. And I hope that I do them proud every time that I talk about our stuff.
Well, I would say that you do, and it's again a credit to yourself because you bring such wonderful energy and you're just so
Thank you.
likable. So
I'm so obnoxiously like this in real life. And the awful thing is, like, I used to work as a barista, but I hate coffee. So I'm not really into tea unless there's like a million cups of sugar in it, which I feel kind of defeats the purpose. So I'm like this uncaffeinated, which I'm really sorry to everybody who has to deal with me on a daily basis about.
I mean, I'm jealous you don't need caffeine. I've had 2 cups of coffee, and I'm currently drinking green tea to keep going.
I mean, I wish that I could do that. I'm just like, this vaguely like leaf flavored water. Like, what am I getting out of this? Am I really here for this moment?
Well, just so you know, Chewy and I have been at the streaming thing now for a while, and we also, have talked openly about like the fact that, yeah, we all have a level of imposter syndrome. We all have to get comfortable doing the things, and yeah, eventually you just hit that point because, again, practice makes better. So.
Yeah. Oh my God, right? We did like a big state of the company meeting last week, 2 weeks ago, where we were just kind of internally talking about all the cool stuff that they were doing. And I got asked like the day before, they were like, hey, would you mind like emceeing for us? And I was just like, oh no. So it's like when we're filming a fan stream or we're doing like one of our videos internally, it's just like us and the camera crew. If we're doing a panel at a convention, it's us in a room full of strangers. When you're emceeing on stage at a state of the company meeting, it's you on a stage in front of like 300 of your coworkers, plus it's being streamed live around the world internally, and it's being filmed for later.
And all of your bosses are there.
Oh God. And, like, all of the like people in the C-suite are in the front row, and you're thinking to yourself, I really hope that I don't hit them in the face with this t-shirt cannon that somebody has entrusted me to be able to use. And so I think actually of like all of the things that I've done, that was the most stressed out I've been. And I got this like cool tracker ring that tracks my stress levels. And it was fascinating because that day it was just like, you have been stressed for 9 hours in a row.
Oh my God.
Cool. Great. I love this for me.
My watch sometimes tells me like something similar. Is like, you should either seek medical advice, stand up, go get some air. It's like giving me like AI prescribed like warnings.
Yep. Deep breathing, everything's gonna be okay. I'm just like, okay, I need a nap to not be on stage anymore.
Oh, that would have stressed me out too, though. In that, again, there's the talking of the toys, and then there's the, like you said, the level of global, but within all of the boss's eyes. That would have stressed me out too. As comfortable as I would be now, like if somebody just asked me to do something, like no problem. But yeah, that would still.
And it was, I have a personal policy that I don't drink at work events just because like I don't want to say something stupid on accident.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody was like, do you want to drink before you do this? I'm like, I would literally love one, but I can't. I am going to go through this stone cold sober and very aware of my surroundings.
Yeah. Oh man. I'm just thinking the most nervous I've been in recent history was talking in front of my kids' pre-K class about being a teacher. I didn't think that those kids, I was like, I mean, I could get adults now to listen and enjoy what I'm saying, but I'm like, are these like 3 to 5 year olds? They're gonna eat me alive.
Adults will lie to you about how good you do. Kids are not gonna sugarcoat it. You're gonna be like, that's boring. You're gonna be like, I'm mortified.
Yeah.
I remember I always have this story I always like to share, is like when my daughter was in daycare and she moved up from like the infant room into like this toddler room, and then there's like this intermediary where they're like all 2.5 and 3 year olds. And my daughter hated being in this class in the morning, so I'd always hang out with her for like, start off as 5 minutes, became like 30 minutes, and in that time I would draw for them, like her and her little friends, and they'd make requests, and I'd try to draw them as fast as I could within like 30 seconds to match their attention span. And they would give me some of the harshest criticism I've ever had as a human being, being like, have you seen an elephant before?
Kids are vicious. They will not hold back.
This is not the right pony. I asked you for summer squash or whatever it is. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't have that with me right now. Do you have reference art? I can't do it.
But you got
you
you
be a better artist.
sure your kids aren't near 8th grade yet, because like as harsh as I thought those little preschool kids were going to be, I've had straight up some of these 8th grade kids look me in my soul and tell me this is going to be lame. Like, give me a chance. What are you doing?
And secretly, everyone, that's why Yimbo got a haircut, because they're like, Yimbo, what are you doing with this hair?
Yeah, oh yeah. No,
I truly believe that there are no meaner things in the world than teenagers. They're like, when I was a teenager, I'd like to think that I was a relatively mild teenager, but I still know that I was a jerk, because everybody's a jerk when they're teenagers. You're like, you can't keep up, your brains can't keep up with what's happening in the rest of your body. All you want to do is be cool enough to hang out with your friends, but like also still kind of do the things you actually want to do instead of just be peer pressured into everything.
Yep.
Well, it's a terrible time to be a human. So of course they're going to be really mean. They're going to take that out on everybody around them. I am sorry that they told you that everything's going to be lame, though. That is cruel and unusual.
I will say, by the end of that class, I got her. She was having a great time. It was a great lesson. So I was like, oh, is it still lame? Like, no, it was pretty cool. I'm like, all right, I'll take it.
And on that note, we have our third toy daddy waiting in the wings. He finally got off the boat, and he's here with us today.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Hi.
How's it going, Emily? Nice to meet you.
Delightful. Lovely to meet you, too. Thank you for having me on your show this evening. I've been having a lot of fun. Just so that you know, I can't actually see myself in the video preview. So all I see myself is like a dark little square, but I have been reassured that I am indeed on camera. So
yeah, you're good. You're good.
You can see everyone else, though, right?
Oh, yeah, I can see everybody else. You guys can see me. It's like a background blur thing. So I have a bunch of non-Hasbro product behind me that I didn't want to move, so I threw my background blur on. But it means that for some reason I just can't see my video preview, which is just so weird. It stumped Louis from customer service earlier when I was telling him about it. So
Louis from StreamYard.
Yeah.
Well, that will be for the after show of your non-Hasbro gear, so that would be great to show.
I have a giant. I mean, I'll just say it because I'll be on blur still. The first thing I ever bought when I moved into my house and I moved to Rhode Island was a giant Tom Nook from Animal Crossing pillow.
Ooh.
And it's behind me on the couch. And I've had people remember that they've met me before in a meeting because they're like, you're the Tom Nook pillow girl. I'm like, yeah,
yes.
That's me. Nice to meet you again.
And funny enough, so this is my background for work too. And so
Love it.
I've had meetings with like the CFO, and this is on.
You should be proud of that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Of course, you know how long it takes to pose out something like that. That's like Dwight level cases. Like, I'm too impatient for that nonsense.
But the funniest thing is, like, of like all the people I have meetings with throughout like the week, there's like 50 or so people. Only about like 2 have asked a question. Been like,
that's about right.
Hey, what's going on in your backgrounds?
I feel like so many people, wouldn't you want to know? Like, if you saw somebody with that cool of a collection behind them, you'd be like, please tell me about like what this is and why this brings you joy.
Yeah.
But then those 2 people I do have really good relationships with, because then we'll start talking about it for like an hour.
By the way, Josh Brown said pandemic and Animal Crossing equaled thousands of hours of playtime.
I was just about to say that.
Same.
Just about to say that.
Oh, yeah.
Like hours and hours with my kids, just like planting money trees. And then, oh man, I wish this money tree would grow in a day, but no, I got to wait till tomorrow.
Sounds so Asian. Planting mini trees.
I also really admire your dedication to not time jump to have your money tree be grown.
Yeah. No time jumping.
That up.
Same.
Oh no, y'all are purists. I was playing with. I think my niece was under like 9 or 10 at the time, and she was like, "No, I'm good. Like, I just want a time jump." And like, island, keep going. Auntie Emily, you're slow.
Time jump. Wow, that is dedication. I loved jumping into kind of how you were getting nervous about things, right? It just shows like, I mean, I don't know. I get nervous for a bunch of different things when it's like a scale of just maybe, 2 people. And when it comes to things that you do every single day, I'm sure. Are you getting nervous about like what are the big things you're getting nervous about? Whether it's presentations or pitches or whatever.
We just want to start asking about anxieties. Jeez, Chris.
Yeah, let's do
Coming in
it.
with the hard-hitting questions.
Hey,
I feel like no, but I think that's valid. So the things that I get nervous about now, I feel a lot better from like an imposter syndrome perspective now, but I get nervous about things that I don't have a lot of comfort level with. So if I'm trying something new, especially if I'm like presenting it to people for the first time, or like I don't know how this idea is going to go over, I get nervous about it. We're like currently in the middle of discussing some of our like convention activations for the rest of the year. And like, I'm always nervous that somebody's going to be like, wow, Emily, you have so dropped the ball on this that we're just embarrassed to have you on our team. Literally nobody would ever say that. But like,
Right.
that's
I was going to say.
like constantly playing in my head is like, oh, this is how I get fired. I just go to this meeting with such a terrible idea that they're just like, ew, who hired you? But like, I don't know if that's like only something that plays in my head, or if like other people, like if I just have such heightened anxiety levels all the time, or if that also plays in other people's heads. But yeah, sometimes I'm just like, oh my God, why am I doing this? Like, I just want to go curl up in a ball under my desk and pretend like I am not here.
No, those are those awful negative intrusive thoughts. I like to visualize crumpling it up like a piece of paper in Kobe.
Oh, that's cool. When you're tossing it, do you make it into like a trash can?
Yeah,
or does the intrusive thought like bank a little to the right and you miss?
Oh, that's a good. I usually guess I make them, but
Okay,
I wouldn't in real life.
it's better if you in your head miss it, because that makes it even funnier.
It's healthier that way too, you know.
If you do miss, do you then have to like go and get it and be like, ugh, I hate you, and then throw it into the trash? Or like,
so
I'm struggling.
I visual. He gets up, he physically walks over.
Like, what an inconvenience this thought is.
Unfolds the paper, like, all right, let's try it.
No, I'm shrugging it to just the Kobe, the crumple and the Kobe. So I don't even care where it goes. It's just a garbage thought. I throw it away.
Now you're gonna start thinking about it, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, am I visualizing that going in, or does it miss a little?"
Yeah, I'll have to find out. Either way, it's gonna go in. And I can light that garbage can on fire, because that's what we have to do. You know, like these self-defeating thoughts. You know, like they just get in the way of doing the things that we need to get done. You know,
and then you can trade them for a little casual arson, which is perfect.
But that's why I brought it up, in terms of just like, we try to be positive, and in this in everything that we do as like toy photographers, or anything we do here, sometimes we are our worst critic, right? So sometimes I may not post something because I'm like, this stinks, like people are gonna fire me. No, I don't say that, but I do
people
think,
will cancel you. That's
cancel me.
Social media fire.
Like, I do have to say, I'm gonna put No.Chewing on the spot. The worst thing is when I post a photo in our chat and No.Chewing says nothing.
Silence.
That's like the worst critique.
Sometimes if you post, or if you send multiple pictures and I try to like it, it won't let me. So then I just move on.
That's weird, because I can do it to yours.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
I feel like you could send an emoji at least as acknowledgement, though.
I got thumbs up.
I'm gonna wade into this debate.
I'm too old to change.
I do love you, Trey.
But on that note, I think that there's also one of the things that I have decided for myself, that no matter how poorly something goes, there is a lesson that I can take from it. Sometimes that lesson is, this went great, I'm awesome, let's do this again in the future. But sometimes it's, wow, this presentation bombed. Why do I think that was? Okay, here are the things that I'll do differently in the future. Or like, yeah, this didn't super resonate, or like this fan stream didn't go over quite as well as we would have liked it to, but like this was an element of it that we really liked that we can do again in the future, and kind of see how we can structure it differently. And so I found that I'm a lot kinder to myself thinking like that, which is really
Mhm.
interesting because I'm like, okay, there will be something that I can learn and improve upon with this. I'm just not exactly sure what it is or what the lesson is going to be from it yet.
Exactly. Yeah. Self-reflection and just
Yep.
again, you're not going to be able to change every but yeah, focus in on what's good and then try to replicate some of those things. Take something that you can say, nope, all right. Again, that's a great mindset, and that's what we try to talk about here to remind people because, again, I think we're all wired similarly, in terms of just being harder on ourselves.
Oh, absolutely. And imagine like it's the things that you say to yourself you would never say to your friends because they're
Right.
just so mean. Like you would never say that to
Oh,
another
I'm
person.
very
You
vulgar
love
to
other people
myself.
too much to talk to them the way you talk to yourself. Yeah.
Yes, very true.
So Emily, I want to go back to your origins in toys because, again, like you heard it. I have the youngest kids of the Toy Daddies here, so that this has been my experience the last 4 years is trying to get my kids into like the franchises, the different comics and cartoons and
Yep.
stuff that I love, and obviously toys are a perfect avenue to that. So what was one of your favorite things to come out of that experience? Like whether it was something that you did hands-on in terms of an idea
Ooh.
or do you have something that you look fondly back on in that time?
So one of my I actually have a lot of really fond memories of working on that team. That was the first time that I had really, so like I was mentioning earlier, getting to work with such amazing cross-functional teams. It was my first corporate experience. It was my first experience with a team like that. And everybody on the team was so patient with all of my questions because usually at Hasbro, there's a wide variety of jobs that we all do when we come together and make great products. And in order to kind of do that, there are a variety of well-established swim lanes so that you're not like stepping all over what everybody else is doing. And I was basically like, hi, I'm new. I would love to learn about everything that you're doing, but not in like an invasive way, more in just like I'm super curious about what this is way.
Mhm.
And everybody was so patient with me. And I was so grateful that they were willing to take the time instead of just being like, you're a marketer. You don't need to know about what we're doing for engineering. You don't need to know how I'm costing this. You don't need to know how we designed this. They took the time to talk to me and answer my questions. And I feel like it was such an incredibly valuable experience for me. And one that, so I had my first intern last summer. I actually get another intern this summer. So if you know anybody who's an undergraduate focusing in marketing or events and would like to come and hang out with me this summer, gosh, do I have a job application for you?
How about a 40-year-old something that has summers off?
Oh, that sounds amazing. Can you enroll yourself in a degree program so that you can be in school during the summer?
University of Phoenix.
There we go. We'll see if
All right,
we
interesting.
passes that. It's going to be a slew of,
I know 88 Figs was mentioned in internship before, but Ozzy, we'll have to see if I beat you to it.
what was I saying? Oh, interns. So it's not only something that I loved, but it's also something that I feel like I get to pay forward for my future interns to try and provide them with that same experience of like, I set up meetings with them to talk to as many different people as possible because I want them to get to learn about all the different parts of what it takes to make toys and to also really appreciate the roles that other people bring to the teams and the skill sets that they have. And I feel like that's one of the things that sets some of the teams that I work on apart from some of the other teams is I try my darndest to make it feel like there is no hierarchy in the team. We are all in this together. Everybody's opinions are valid. I want to hear your thoughts and feelings regardless of what your position is. If you have a great idea for social content, I want to hear it. And maybe, or if you have a great idea for product design, I want to hear it. And maybe that's not exactly what we end up using, but you never know if that conversation is going to spark something else. And then somebody's going to say, oh, I know somebody who was working on something like that. You should go talk to so-and-so. And where that leads and what that can kind of spitball into, I think is absolutely the coolest thing in the world. So that kind of tangentially went in a direction. So I would say learning about a bunch of different stuff. Every day at 1 p.m. we went and got ice cream after lunch, which was great. And then I was a coffee and ice cream train. I loved it. And then my favorite products that we were working on, it was when the Mega Mighties line were coming out. So those 10-inch kind of chunky stylized figures. And I remember working on them and getting to kind of do some decks about them. And it was just so cool to watch the reaction. They performed well in the US, but they sold like gangbusters in Latin America and nobody could figure out why. And we just I just thought it was so cool that there are, for reasons that I couldn't quite figure out as an intern. I'm sure that somebody figured them out, but I was just like, it's so cool that different products resonate in different parts of the world and that you never know what toy you're working on that is going to like spark a like amazing childhood memory for somebody. So again, kind of tangential, but
no. And just so you know, I was like, I just had to like refresh my memory. So I did the quick Google search and oh yeah, I bought an Iron Man for one of my best friend's kids. And
right?
oh yeah, and my kids have the Spider-Man and the Captain Marvel. And yeah, like, so I have these in my house.
There was one of my favorites. We used to do like testing days, or we would like the cost engineers would need to like weigh things. So I'm sure that, I mean, this was long enough ago where I can talk about this, but we had, when we were doing the Captain Marvel figures, we had to weigh her hair. So our cost engineer was cutting her hair off of her head. And then we figured out that, and don't do this at home, but we figured out that the hair on the Captain Marvel figure works as a wig on the Spider-Man figure. And so, which just makes your Spider-Man extra fabulous.
That's awesome.
So that was what was on my desk, was a Spider-Man with a Captain Marvel wig.
I'm doing that. I'm doing that.
That's the exclusive everyone needs.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to dig those two out. I'm going to have to track them down. They're in there here. Something
Which
my kid...
Captain Marvel?
It was she has like kind of Farrah Fawcett hair in this one, or in this figure. So this one. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
And so it's important to note that she's not wearing a wig. You physically have to cut half of her head off to get the hair piece off. But it does fit on Spider-Man.
That's really good to know.
You're really speaking me on this one.
By the way, Rabbit Hammer, thanks for hanging out this evening, and we appreciate it. Just want to throw that up there. But of course, Kesaripa, thank you so much for hanging out as much as you could tonight. And there you go. This is awesome to hear.
Also, Red Wagon Dioramas. How's it going, Dave?
Oh, thank you. I think that we can all admit that sometimes people on the internet forget that there is like a human on the other end of comments that they're making, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you just yell into the void and kind of see what happens. But it's been so nice to get to go, as the kind of the pandemic is receding a little bit, to actually get to go out to events and have conversations with people, or do this kind of thing and get to like actually talk to humans. So many of the fan streams that we do, they're, as much as we like to think they're one-way conversations, because we're talking to you. You can't interact with us because, that's kind of the structure of everything. But that I love getting to have conversations with fans and hearing like what you love and what you're collecting and what you think is cool. And then we get to nerd out about stuff. And it's wonderful.
That's a good segue into WonderCon. That's the first time Hasbro had made a presentation at WonderCon before.
Sure had. Or sure wasn't. Sure. Yes. Yes to everything you're saying.
Affirmative.
Affirmative. There we go. Nice.
Those are true statements.
Yeah.
Perfect. Nailed it.
And is that going to be like the first of many, kind of expanding out to more cons? Because I know a large presence at New York Comic Con, San Diego, of course.
We're trying to figure out what these, fan streams and pulse cons were something that were born out of the pandemic. It was our way of communicating with fans when we didn't really have any other options because all the conventions were canceled. And so we're trying to figure out, how do we really get back to communicating with fans to the best of our abilities, and kind of what combination of, because I love getting to do the fan streams and doing these like smaller videos that get to reveal products and everybody gets to be excited about them. but I also love doing conventions because it's actually like real world conversations where there's, another human in front of me and we get to talk about stuff. And maybe this year at San Diego, I won't get COVID like last year, which was super fun time. Teach me for going out to dinner without a mask on. But I think trying to figure out what that right combination is, but we are trying to figure out more touch points for fans and, how can we do our best job of communicating with everybody and getting to be excited with all of you, because we are truly excited and we are honored to be representatives for the brand, that people feel like, they know us and that we're all friends. And so when we get to talk to people, it's so cool because there isn't any of that like awkward, like, oh, it's so nice to meet you, let's make awkward small talk. It's like, no, tell me about, Naugahyde. I'm like, okay, let's talk about Naugahyde. Great.
I could talk to you about Quick Kick all day.
Oh, nice Quick Kick. What do you think?
He's beautiful. Poses really well, accessories galore, and it all fits on him too. I love that about Joe's, is that it goes in the backpack, goes in the back, we're done.
We're really into self-sufficiency on the G.I. Joe team. Everybody should always be ready for any situation that strikes them.
Can I just ask one thing though? I'm not convinced that you and Yimbo have not met before, because I feel like there has been some relationship with the Joe team and Yimbo, and he still denies it to this day. But you cannot deny the likeness right there. Can we just say?
Wow, that's really good.
This is also why Yimbo got a haircut.
So you look more like Shipwreck.
I'm really surprised you don't have that hat, to be honest, Yimbo. That would have made this night.
So I mean, this is Yimbo, right?
It's a missed opportunity.
A figure. I don't know Joe's very well, but there's no Shipwreck. This is Yimbo.
Let me just say, when we go to Comic-Con, Emily, we're going to SDCC together for the first time this summer. And Yimbo, if you don't wear that shirt and that hat when we visit the booth, it's going to be
I will.
Completely ruined.
All right.
Event.
Speaking of Shipwreck, so when we're at WonderCon, we're standing outside of the panel room with our PR team, and there was a line of people that were coming in. And the PR team was like, are those fans for the Joe panel or for the person who's in there before? And a guy walks out dressed head to toe like Shipwreck. And I was just like, I'm sorry, are you trying to figure out if that's just like his everyday outfit or... I'm like, no. These are the G.I. Joe fans, and they are dedicated to the cause.
He had the parrot hair. They're like,
100%. I was like, okay, these are the G.I. Joe fans.
That's a fun game. Is it a Joe fan, or is it a sailor?
Is he just a really fancy sailor from the 1980s that has shown up for our panel today?
It's San Diego. There's ports, right?
Yeah, it's totally normal.
By the way, Josh Brown, this is you might be a perfect person to ask. Except for the snow serpent knife, anyone figure out where that goes?
You know what? I will. Lenny has a vision for everything. Let me clarify with Lenny where the snow serpent's knife goes, and I will report back. How's that?
Beautiful, love it. And what is that? We have Red Exo Mac 5. Did we miss the Power Ranger talk? No, we've just been talking all about Emily and her, like her time at Hasbro and just all of the different lines that you have had your hands on. And
I've done so many different lines, but it's been really cool because I feel like it's an interesting variety of lines. We had Power Rangers, which was entertainment accurate. We have G.I. Joe, that's kind of a, amalgamation of all of the team's beautiful kind of modernization. We have Fortnite, which was, getting to touch on video game stuff. We had D&D for the movie. Now I get to dabble on Transformer stuff, and I'm learning about robots. And so it's all, I'm definitely not bored, and I'm never not learning, which is fabulous. I love learning. I love being challenged by things. I love all the stupid New York Times puzzles that I do that make me really angry. BMAC on the Transformers team and I every morning send each other our connections and strand scores and complain about them appropriately. We're either like, yeah, we nailed connections today, or like, oh, it's gonna be a really bad day. This is not good.
So I have a question because one of the like how much of a role do you have in the development of something like the Vamp, for instance? Because that's been we've set a new tier, and again, it's a different company, but you know, like we had, I'm sure you've heard through the like, you know, the Mezco Ninja Turtles were like a big release this year in terms of toys. So the three of us have enjoyed it, and we said that kind of level of fun, you know, just doesn't have to be that price point, but just a level of fun where you're experiencing. I had that with the Hiss Tank. Unboxing that, like I've talked about, it was just like me. I didn't want to do content. I just wanted to enjoy. And I did the Vamp on a stream, and it gave me that same level of just like, this is what toys are. Like there's so much, like all little pieces are. So yeah, how much of like for you personally, like your hands is on the development of things like that?
It's interesting because so there's kind of different touch points that marketers have. And one of my philosophies on G.I. Joe is marketing has a very light touch on G.I. Joe because everything that Lenny does is incredible. And every once in a while, I'll go in and make like a tiny recommendation where I'll be like, oh, can we have this, you know, can we add a couple more accessories so this becomes a deluxe item? Or, you know, Pulse is really looking for X, Y, and Z. Can we like alter this offering a little bit? But Lenny knows exactly what fans want because he is our target demographic and it is exactly what he wants. And so most of the time I get to have the same reaction as you had unboxing the Vamp or seeing the Hiss Tank for the first time and getting to go, oh my God, this is incredible. And so I think it's a really cool moment for me because when I was full-time on Joe development, like Lenny and I spent a ton of time together and getting to watch his process of like, so he's like, okay, I think it's time for us to do the Vamp. We're like, okay, this is going to be so cool. And then he does all of his kind of design boards and he draws everything out. He's like, okay, these are the features that are going to be really important to this. We're like, okay, yes, we're bought into this. And then to see it go from 2D drawing on paper to a 3D product render to actual product you can hold in your hands to then Matt Cohen, usually, who does a phenomenal job, getting to take pictures of it where he's sending us all of the images and we give Matt a lot of leeway for what he wants to do in pictures because as I'm sure you guys know, he is phenomenally talented. And if I use my little marketing hat and I'm like, hey, Matt, here's exactly what I want you to do. Those pictures are going to be terrible because that is not my specialty.
And people in the chat, Matt Cohen's handle is Shooting the Galaxy.
Yes. Shooting the Galaxy. He is, and like such a genuinely nice human too. But it's just so fun. And so on different brands, kind of marketing has kind of different levels of involvement with things. But my philosophy is really like light touch. Lenny and Tony know exactly what they're doing.
That's awesome.
Which is wonderful. Yeah.
That's great. And for the record, you know, Sir Trevor 1-6 shooter, he said, I don't collect Joes, but the Joe team doesn't make it easy. It's a great line. Shout out. And there it is to my man, Matt Cohen, killing it with the picks.
And I think that one of the really cool things about the Joe line is, like I mentioned, it's not entertainment accurate. And so it's a combination of everything you know and love about the characters with just enough modernization. But then you look at it and you're just like, holy smokes, this thing is just so cool. I don't want to put it down. And I think that's the magic of G.I. Joe. But like the Vamp, why does the Vamp have suspension? It doesn't need to have suspension.
But I love it.
Really friggin' cool. Like, and that's why it has suspension because we were like, yeah, all right, this is great. Let's do it.
I don't want to keep asking all the questions, Chris. So
Chris, I know you just jumped in.
No, go ahead.
Later, but
I can hang out for a while longer too if you guys want to keep asking questions. Like this is not an emotionally. My ring is not going to say that I am in high stress levels right now, so I'm doing okay.
No, I just missed a little bit portion, so I'm just trying to get into the rhythm of all the questions and whatnot. But Emily, what I really just love about you is your energy and your ability to. We try to stay positive as toy daddies here. We have an amazing community here that are just funny people who really know how to chat and support each other. And I think for you, what I find and what I've learned is that your curiosity and your ability to connect with people really has given the fans this allure of like, wow, like I want to see more of Emily. I want to see more of the
Oh,
presentations because your your um your ability to soak in all of the knowledge in kind of a short amount of time by asking all these questions and connecting with people. I think
Mhm.
one thing that I really resonated with you was when you have interns, your ability to build them up and listen to their ideas. And so that's why I really think. So when they pitch you an idea, are you
mhm.
all ears? And
Oh,
are
sorry. No, finish your question, and then I'll before I jump in, and I'm like, no, yes, let me answer half of this question. Sorry.
well, I guess what I really want to do is just make sure that when there is an idea like and it falls flat, like are you still giving out
Hey, I have
critiques?
a. I think I might know where Chris is going though. So Emily, could we role play where Chris is your intern and he
Yes.
pitches you an idea?
I love
for
this
a
idea.
toy?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
true.
Great. Yep. All right. Let's do
All right,
this.
roll
Perfect scenario.
Um, hey Emily, here's your coffee. I was just wondering. I just imagine your intern's getting coffee. So
Well, it's not
uh,
tea. You'd fail flat if you handed her tea. So
okay, so
Leaf
already
water.
points there. Beef water. Okay, here's your
Yeah,
beef
leaf
water.
water. That's all tea is.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you said beef water. I was like, what the
Oh
heck
no,
is
that
beef
sounds
water?
worse. Actually,
Sounds
no, just
terrible.
like liquid.
bold move
sad
though,
stew.
intern Chris. You handed her some beef water. Is it warm? Warm beef
It's like an
water?
Arrested Development, like hot ham water joke.
God,
Like,
yeah.
is that where we're going with this?
Hey, Miss Emily, here's some au jus. I have some
Actually,
to you.
I ate the sandwich.
Just a cup of jus. Have a great time.
Okay, this is
I'm sorry,
already
Chris. I'll take this seriously.
okay. Thank you, Emily. So I have this idea. When I was 9 years old, I loved drawing my comic books, and there was this one person, this one character I made up. His name was Laser Man. Now, if you imagine Iron Man, but with L's on him, okay?
Okay.
Now, it's 30 years later, and I'm still an intern, and it's okay. I'm 40 years old. I'm just getting my feet wet, but I've learned that I've I was inspired 30 years later to make my own custom of Laser Man. Now there's a whole
Okay.
lore of
Cool.
Laser Man. I've written like a 6-page script of his origin. There's a deep well of characters. Now, if you imagine a boy named Larry Laserman that grew up on a farm, and his father is the son of a wealthy dairy conglomerate. I believe his name is Vinny, and they live on a farm, and he has his best friend Cow. And one day there is a meteor that hits the farm, and every worker animal is affected by this radioactive meteor. And the son, Larry Laserman, becomes Laserman. Of course, there's this whole other backstory about the suit and all stuff, but we can get into that later. But let me show you some concepts that I've made. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So I brought my little suitcase to work today. So I thought, maybe we could have a little powwow. Pretend this is lunch.
Perfect.
Okay. So this is the prototype for Laserman. Since we all work at Hasbro, I thought it would be okay, but it might be some infringement. Can we get a one shot of me, please, Joey? Thank you. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, here we go. So here we go. What do we think? There's a lot of silence.
There is.
Why is there so much silence?
I'm trying to double tap a smiley face for you.
So, Chris, thank you so much for showing me Laser Man. I think that it's so cool that you had this kind of level of imagination and this like beautiful storytelling. So, if it's okay with you, let's start by kind of talking about the elements of Laser Man that you love the most. So, like, if you had to pick.
Yep. Go ahead.
No.
If I had to pick what? I interrupted.
So if you had to pick like your top 3 favorite things about Laser Man and his story, what would those 3 things be?
Well, I'm really glad you asked that because you know what is the best thing about Laserman is his villain gallery.
Ooh, okay.
I will tell you, I don't have just Laserman. I have some of his villains as well.
Amazing.
So here is one villain. His name is Fecal Matter.
Perfect.
He originally prototyped him as a swear word in Storm.
Mhm.
You can imagine what word that might be.
I sure can imagine
so-
exactly what word that would be.
So he has he's connected to Laserman's origin. I also have Reflect Sean. Let me see. I love this guy. This is a play on character. Hey Man.
Perfect. Good tying into the farm theme.
Like it? Yes. Yeah. Do you know He-Man? It's like, hey, that's why he's hey. I have another one.
Mhm.
This is like this is like his best friend cow that got affected by the meteorite. And he somehow gained mystic powers.
Oh, okay.
This is the Muterin, the divine bovine.
Wow. That's very cool. So did when the cow gained mystic powers, the cow also got fingers instead of hoofs?
Yeah. It's weird,
That's
right?
great. Are the cow's thumbs opposable? Like, are they functional hands?
That's
Or
what
do they
makes him a
still have the
superhero,
functionality of a hoof?
super villain.
Yeah.
That was his villain story. He got thumbs.
I love these questions because these are things I haven't really worked out yet, but it's this is a prototype, so
That's so good.
Chris, if it's okay with you, I think that I'm not sure that Hasbro has kind of the bandwidth to really kind of do justice to the Laserman story. But I think what we can actually do is kind of pull elements out of that story that resonate with you and see if there's a way that we can work them into our current product lines. So what I'm hearing is that, the kind of the magic abilities, there's this kind of origin story, there's a little bit of mysticism that's happening here. So what if let's take, for example, say you're working on G.I. Joe with me. So maybe when we're looking at kind of character selections for G.I. Joe, we could pull from characters in our repertoire that actually kind of meet those story elements. Maybe if we're focusing on animals, we could do kind of an animal figure and pet pack. Maybe it's a less anthropomorphized cow that could hang out with Laserman in that pack. But I think that there are some really amazing story elements. But most of all, what I love is your enthusiasm. And so I think it would be amazing if we could find a way to kind of harness that and figure out how we can apply it to G.I. Joe and figure out what we can do together as a team. How does that sound?
You know what, Emily?
Bravo. There we go. No one's ever responded to this bit this way. I love it.
I think
it's my favorite thing right now.
First of all, I think I have to go to the bathroom now because I'm going to go cry. But thank you so much because I would love to have any of these characters included in some sort of line.
Oh my god! But yeah, Emily, see that just goes to show what a genuine and amazing person you are. That was
guys. We did it. We did it, everyone.
Wow.
Hasbro heard my pitch.
That was a
They've heard it twice now, but
Josh
Emily was very
Brown
most receptive to it.
No, but point out Josh Brown. Like, yeah, Emily, you're good. Masterclass going on here. That was excellent, amazing, but also true because you were all of the things that as an educator, like we try and instill in the students and all of those things. Oh, so good, so good.
Chris, that pitch did so well. It was 2 minutes before you got to the villains. That's an elevator pitch. Good job, you guys.
Was that good? Yeah,
that was very good.
Yeah, you know what? I have to thank Emily because she really was setting it up. Right? She really. It was like a dance. It was a beautiful dance. She led, and I just followed. It was great.
I had to keep muting my mic because I didn't want to step over you, Chris. But I'm like, don't stop mentioning the infringements. The infringements. Like, what are you doing? That's not. No, don't include that.
Well, I was just being a responsible Hasbro intern.
Fair.
That's fair.
Excellent
I could
Hasbro
see
intern.
potential problems here.
Thank you for the cup of hot meat water. I really appreciate it to go along with this pitch.
It's some of my favorite. I hope you
It-
enjoy.
Oh my God.
It's called Summer Au Jus, and it's served cold apparently.
And it's not. It doesn't have anything to do with the mystical cow with thumbs, right?
As
I mean,
As our
that's
friend
a big
Macho Toy
concept
said.
right there. Yeah.
yeah, I think the new catchphrase is going to be instead of got milk, got thumbs.
I also like
He's
Trevor.
got them.
He's got the moves.
Oh man,
It's
Trevor.
awful. I love it.
Oh boy.
So I do have to say, like Laserman, I just mentioned it once on a stream, and then we kind
Took
of
off?
took off with it. So every stream, every guest, I try to pitch it, which is fun. But all of these villains came from really like these guys and the people in the chat. And then I keep a little like notes in my phone and just write down all the villains' names. And then someday, if I have some time, I'm like, oh, let's make this guy. This would be fun. So
Where
it's
did
just
the
been
cow
really
head come
fun.
from? That was really good.
That's from it's Astral Doctor Strange. The
It's from their
Build-A-Figure.
bath.
Ah, got it.
The Build-A-Figure.
Fun. That was great.
yeah.
Thank you for including me in that. I liked it.
Oh, yeah.
I will say,
course.
that this pitch hasn't always gone over well with Hasbro people. Chris has now done this a couple of times to Mr. Stevie, and I just realized that
he stopped responding
he
to
stopped
me.
responding to me. We used to have a little chit chat, and this is at Legion's Con. I sent him a video and I said, "Oh no, Chris is pitching it," and he goes, "I've deleted all of your accounts. You're all a disgrace." He hasn't
He said
responded.
that. He said that too.
But you have to imagine he's saying that in the accent.
No,
so it
of
sounds
course,
less
yeah.
like harsh criticism and more charming.
But in a British way, he's serious.
Yeah,
Right.
so-
He gave me the laughing, crying emoji, but also I think we're all crying now.
Well, we'll get back.
So thank you, Emily, for hopefully you don't delete all our accounts after.
No, oh, God. I actually, so one of the kindest things that I've done for myself is it now, if anybody sends me a message on Instagram, you'll notice it takes me way longer than it used to respond, because I now have a work phone with all of my work socials on it. And when I decide that I want to acknowledge the universe, I pick up my phone and I answer questions. And then sometimes I say, I'm good for now. And then I put it down and walk away. And it is magical.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Chris.
apologize that it takes me a little bit longer, but my mental health is just top notch right now.
Emily, I look at
That's the
Instagram.
same reason why I don't respond to your photos sometimes. I have a separate phone for Toy Daddy stuff.
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah, Chris.
Oh, that makes sense.
No, but it's true. Like I know that I have to like. It's so nice to just sometimes have to put it down and then just walk away and kind of forget about it and then get involved doing other stuff. Because it's another thing in our lives that there's that pull and there's the being trying to be responsible just like anything. Even with our toy collecting, we always even talk about making sure we're all being as fiscally responsible or irresponsible like as we do this. It's again always supposed to be something that brings us this happiness and joy.
Yeah. And as you can imagine, not every message I receive is full of love and adoration.
I bet.
So there's only so many times people can tell me I'm an awful human being before I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna walk away from this for a little while. But it's so interesting because people are remarkably nice to us in person, considering how mean they can be on the internet. And I've only had to have, the boys have only had to physically get between me and other people twice at conventions. I'm like,
God.
and I know, spoiler alert, I have to stand on boxes while we record because that's how short I am. But I'm 5 feet tall. If like somebody who's over 6 feet tall comes at me at a convention, like I look like I'm terrified. So it's definitely also not something that I necessarily saw having to contend with. And most of the time I wear platforms while I'm at conventions. So sometimes I'm 5'3" and I feel like I can reach all of the cabinets in the kitchen. So
There you go.
Same with Chris.
You just beat me to that. Darn.
Well, Emily, that's
Same with me.
One of the big things that really solidified the three of us, you know, in the messaging that we want to do as we, again, just like being friends and having these fun conversations with everybody. But, you know, again, is always reminding, like you said it before, there is a person behind the toys, the decisions, the everything, but it always comes back to a person.
Yep.
And it's like, how do we want to treat each other as human beings? So,
and also like, we're not obligated to do this. Like, this is something that we're doing, I assume all of us, because we're having fun. And if we're not having fun anymore, we don't owe anybody anything. Like, we can just stop doing this.
Yeah.
And so it's not like we're contractually obligated to continue letting people say horrible things on the internet to us. Like, no, we're not having fun. We'll just stop.
yeah.
But I'd like to think that, you know, people have the capacity to be reasonable, and remember that other human beings have feelings and thoughts and emotions. But, you know, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, I know. We've talked to, you know, even other YouTubers like D Amazing has talked about, again, that some of the comments that he gets too, and it's just, I'm a person, man. Like, what are you doing? Like, come on.
Yeah.
So
but I will say, for the most part, people are lovely, and it has been so cool to get to connect with more people. And it's been so cool. Every fandom is different, and like, what resonates with the Ghostbusters fandom like really wouldn't resonate with the G.I. Joe fandom, really wouldn't resonate with the Power Rangers fandom. And so it's so cool. Oh, did I forget to mention that I worked on Ghostbusters? Huh.
You snuck that out earlier, and I was like, ooh, all right. Yeah, that was another one.
So I was like, because when I was on, so my brief stint on I was on the consumer marketing team for a year, and I wasn't doing product development, but I was working on G.I. Joe, Transformers, Ghostbusters, Power Rangers, D&D, and then our one magic toy that we did, Chandra Gauntlet, y'all. If you want to be really cool, go and get yourself a Chandra Gauntlet. But it's been really cool to kind of get to try different things for different audiences, like the HasLab videos that we did for Ghostbusters, for the 2 in the Box HasLab. If I would have tried to do that for a G.I. Joe HasLab, they would have eaten me alive. They'd be like, what is this stupid woman doing? Like, stop this. Show us the toy. Like, just why are you trying to do something kitschy and full of Easter eggs and show your love for the fandom? No. Show us our dragonfly. Get to the point.
Right. No, but that Ghostbuster one, oh man, that was so neat, and it did develop a lot of conversations as to the mystery around what it was going to be. Like that was fun. That was a fun little thing. Yeah.
So it was so much fun to film. So that whole HasLab development team, like, full of dedicated nerds who just wanted to do something so cool and try something new. And so we filmed those videos after hours so that it would be dark in the building. We had our poor sweet Kevin. So on our marketing team, Kevin, who was in one of the HasLab lab videos in the back, we put him in the inflatable Stay Puft suit. And at one point, we're not entirely sure what happened, but the zipper ripped in the back. So if he had turned at one point, you would have seen that we literally duct taped him into the back of the costume.
Yes.
It was so funny. And it was like, 10 p.m. and we were all delirious with laughter and hurling magic cards at poor sweet Gary, who's our brand writer, who was dressed up as Cliff, the security guard. And it was just, we had so much fun doing that. And it was, we get to have fun doing other things too, but like that was such an amazing memory of that campaign. Like it was lovely. And Sony are like the best partners for something like that too. They're just like, oh, you want to basically make like a fan video that's an homage to Ghostbusters? Great, go for it. We love this for you guys. Like, yes, neat.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just loving this. I try not to always talk.
I did my thing, and I'm really happy. So
Chris is spent.
Done.
Oh man. So Chewy, wait. Oh no.
What? No. I'm just playing with them. I'm playing with toys on the desk. Sorry.
Well, did we have any comments that any questions that came in for Emily about any of
no questions
lines
actually came up. A lot of people are just very supportive and thankful, and they agree with you. These are toys. They're supposed to be fun. Yeah. Calling some
If
people
anybody,
keyboard
I'm
warriors, you
happy
know.
to answer any questions, or if any
got
of you
one.
have any other questions,
So
or I'm happy to abscond and go prep for the Transformers video that we're filming for something tomorrow and
oh, gosh.
acknowledge my
Mhm.
cats.
Awesome. Emily, in terms of like when it gets the final product, what is it like when is there like is it what I would imagine like all of you are at a table and then there's like a box with like a blanket on it and everyone's like, all right, here we go, everyone, let's see it. And then everyone's like, whoa, and then they open it up
Ooh.
together, or everyone has their own box and it's like at a dinner table. And then you open it and then everyone plays with it. Is it
Or
like that?
or it's a big conveyor belt, like like if it's like in the
You
North
just take
Pole
it.
and a bunch of elves, and then just like these boxes just slide down in front of you.
Let's not get so silly.
I know.
So it's changed a little bit since the pandemic. So we got processes kind of shifted. So back in the before times, I'm sure that you've seen pictures of them pop up on the internet, but we used to do a thing called grain tags on product. And so kind of the big final moment for the team was we would get final product in the packaging just like it's supposed to be in stores. And the entire team would go down to what we referred to as the green tag room, where all of our final products would be waiting. And then one member from all of the different departments on the team would have to initial that, yes, this is everything that their department wanted. Like, it's beautiful. We sign off on this. And then we had so one of them would go to, I think one of them would go to an archive of some kind, just as like reference material. And then the team would get to keep the other 3 samples. And for all intents and purposes, they were final product. And so whenever those products would come in, that would be kind of a big moment for the team, because we would have this experience together. And it would be in person because, who had heard of Microsoft Teams before the pandemic? And now, so during the pandemic, we did a lot of product reviews that were on screen. So we would be sharing them from a video perspective. For the development team, so like Lenny and Tony and Matt, both Matts, there's a lot of Matts on our team, will kind of sit and they'll go through things together. But usually it's not the big wider team like it used to be. Like all of us used to gather around a table when samples would come in. So now the groupings are kind of smaller. But it's usually there's no blanket. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The exception to that rule is when we get in HasLab prototypes, when we get in an FEP or like an FEP2 or a PRP sample on a HasLab, we get the entire team together to do a HasLab review. And those are the wow moments, because we will go through and we will unbox the HasLab so it comes in full packaging like we are opening it at home for the first time. And that is a holy smokes moment, because we've seen the models come in, and the first time that one of the his tanks came in, we all our jaws all dropped. The first time a dragonfly came in, all of our jaws dropped. And it was, so to me, I love doing regular toy development. It's it brings me joy, but there is something special about HasLabs and the amount of time that goes into them and how high stress they are, because so usually with toys, it doesn't it kind of matters how well they do, but they're going to make it to shelf anyway. So but with HasLabs, if something goes wrong, they don't fund and they never make it to shelf. So they are high risk, high reward projects. I am currently 4 for 4 on HasLab projects. So I'm looking to keep that record going. But those are, so now in lieu of kind of all of the other ones, I love those HasLab review meetings.
So you're the team's in there and you unbox one, or each of you have one?
We unbox one. So
Okay.
we get a limited number of early
I know.
samples in. So we all sit, and usually it's the product designer who does the unboxing. So say Lenny will unbox a his tank for the first time. And then it's representatives from all of the different teams in the room. We pass pieces around. So QA is okay, let's test how sharp all the edges are. And I'm does this reading okay? And the graphics team is double checking all the packaging. And kind of our project managers are yes, this is still on time. How delightful for us. And so to me, that is such a cool moment for the team. And it is such a nice kind of, not feather in our cap, but it's a nice celebration of all of the hard work that goes into HasLabs, because they are a beast unto themselves. But they're just so cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I can't imagine first of all, everyone's super excited for it. So I'm sure just the electricity in the room before you open it and then seeing everything. Now, do you have to, again, like you did pre-pandemic or post, whatever it was, do you still have to sign off as a team or to be like?
So it's verbal sign off now. So we don't actually print green tags and put them on packaging anymore. But now we have, records of Teams chats from all of our development meetings. So if anybody has a concern, we can say like, okay, so-and-so had a concern here. Is this something that's been addressed? And then we all kind of get to collectively say like, yes, this is great. Let's send it out.
Got it.
And it's really cool. I miss green tags. I think that they were fun. It's really fun when I'm in the archives and I get to find old, because most of the products in there were green tags. And so it's really fun to get to like see the old ones and be like, oh, so-and-so signed this and they still work here, which is really cool. So little pieces of Hasbro history.
Do you ever, is there ever like, oh gosh, one of the Matts, of course, he's asking this is going to stall everything.
I would rather somebody ask a question, because it's better if we ask it internally instead of having it asked externally once the product is released.
Fair point.
So if somebody says, hey, I have a concern about this, and even if it ends up not being a problem at all, I would so much rather somebody at least ask and say like, okay, yes, we have considered that this may be a thing in the future, versus being caught unaware of it.
I gotcha.
That's with I imagine that as you unbox things, you're having a lot of fun with it. Is it anyone's job to be like, hey, can you play with this? Like, pretend you're 10 and just be a little rough on it to see what would happen. Like, oh, dragonfly, let's just try what would happen on like a 2-foot drop.
Oh yeah, no. So all of our products undergo pretty rigorous testing, usually with our kind of team in PDE, which is the team that sits in Asia, closer to the factories. And so depending on what the age grade is on the product, it goes through kind of different testing. So the reason why we age grade, so like classified series is 4+, right? But we age grade some of the HasLabs up because it means that they get to go through a different level of testing than just the figures would. So we'll still test the figures to 4+, but it means that like we don't have to drop the his tank from quite as high of a height and see what happens to it. Which the more kind of complex and the more electronics you have in an item, ideally the lower you want your drop test to be, because that can get a little rough. But we always make sure, regardless of what level of testing it goes through, it is rigorous testing. We make sure that this is going to withstand you playing with it. But so it goes through testing with that team, but then also like the development team can get to do testing. So when I lived in Oregon, our engineers would send me electronic role play items and be like, just play with this for 45 minutes and see if you can break it. So like I remember testing the Power Rangers Chroma Fury Saber, the sword that we did that could read colors and change colors depending on what you scanned. I took it to the grocery store with me one day and I was scanning cereal boxes. This was a year before it came out. And I'm sure I would have gotten in a lot of trouble for it. But I was like, I just need to be able to scan a bunch of different colors at once. Sometimes I get to try and break things. If people on the team have kids, they'll take prototypes home and see if they can, depending on what the age grade is, see how that works out. But it's great because it also kind of lets us see how people are playing with toys in ways that we may not have anticipated, which is great. We also do fun lab testing at the office. So like we invite families in, or we invite, adult fans in and have them kind of talk about toys. Their kids actually watch them playing with the toys. So like a lot of local Rhode Island families have done toy testing. Like BMAC on the Transformers team was a G.I. Joe toy tester when he was a kid. So he actually came in and tested G.I. Joes.
That's awesome.
which was, I mean, so cool. So they'd be
That's-
like, oh yeah, I tested that as a child. Like, oh God, you're cool.
Adult toy tester. I want that job.
Right?
Yeah. It just reminded me of our weekend when we were all together and our friend Machu Toy had the scuba diver and filled up the hotel sink, swam them around.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Speaking of which, Machu Choi,
I know, want to be a toy tester. There we go.
any space for another Matt on the team? Which is weird because his name is Chris. No, I'm
Maybe he
joking.
wants to change his name to be Matt,
No,
so that he
it's
can
Matt.
be another Matt.
No, it's Matt. My name's
Oh,
Matt.
is it?
Oh, but Josh Brown also in the chat is willing to do so.
It's, sacrifices must be made. We have a lot of Matts. At one point, I think on the Power Rangers team, we had like 5 Johns or Jonathans. Everybody got referred to as their last name. Because somebody would be like, oh, John wants this. And I'm like, yeah, but like which John? Because there's like a lot of them. And they all do very different things. So let's talk about last names.
Chris Allen asks, is there any word when Transformers Studio Series Optimus Prime will be revealed? Studio 86.
Great question. I cannot comment on any product that has been unreleased to this point.
There
So
you go.
it'll be a surprise it may happen, it may not happen, but we'll all find out together.
You heard it here tonight. It may happen, but may not happen.
Exclusive Toy Daddy reveal.
Love it. Getting all the exclusives.
There's a couple of different kind of rules that we have for basically our code of conduct for letting us have conversations with like fans and collectors. And one of those is no new news ever comes from us unless it is sanctioned in a fan stream. So unfortunately that's the reason why we just can't comment on all this stuff.
Yes.
So otherwise everybody's going rogue and that's not good.
Yep.
Chain Brothers asks, what has been one of your longest / toughest projects? Sorry,
Ooh,
if you can comment on that.
I think one of the most challenging products that we did were for the D&D line. We did a product line called Dicelings, and they were D20s that transformed into Dungeons and Dragons monsters. And they were so cool. And they went through so many rounds of R&D because of they were super complex, and the way that they folded out. Hi, Gretchen. So not only were you looking at like the die form on the outside. Yes. Thank you so much. So not only were you looking at like the die form on the outside, you were like checking kind of the transformation mechanism. You were looking at what the final monster looked like. There was deco to review. And so they were usually marketers don't get their own like prototypes. It's like engineers, product designers. And for Dicelings, marketers got their own prototypes that shipped specifically to me so that I could physically try to transform every one of them and check it and send back comments and say like, all right, I don't know what I'm doing, but this thing pops out real easy. Can we make this like not do that? And sometimes it really helps to have somebody who isn't like hyper familiar with the toy. Like I knew like, okay, this one is a die and it transforms into a dragon. And there is 6 steps to do this. But like, I wasn't super familiar with like the joints that were used and all of these kind of details. And so to have somebody that can basically test a toy kind of like the consumers at home is helpful. Like I knew more than, like somebody who's just picking one off of like the shelf at Target or something. But like it was a lengthy, difficult project to get right, but holy smokes, did that team just knock it out of the park. Like those were one of my favorite things in that line because they were weird and unique and interesting and cool and just incredible fidget toys. After they were announced, I carried prototypes of them around in my backpack and when I was out in the world. And sometimes I'd be like, do you have any interest in Dungeons and Dragons? And I'd be like, let me show you my Dicelings. Like I did this at the Portland airport one day. I was just like, let me show you my cool toys. But it's like, it's really, really cool when something like that pays off because everybody who were looking at the Dicelings were going like, these are really clever. And what a good use of something that is so specific to Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing games. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Dicelings. I loved them.
That's so cool. I'm
That's
not a
great.
D&D guy in terms of like fandom, but that toy had almost gotten me a couple of times at Walmart just because I'm like, should I just so I can walk out with something? Like that really did catch my eye. Where like that looks
Those
pretty
look
neat.
cool.
And I
I
thought
think-
about it in terms of the fidget toy too.
Yeah, those looked that cool, and they were in plastic-free packaging. So like, you know, they
I
had double
think if
duty.
any
full.
Transformer fan would really appreciate Dicelings.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
it's really well developed and
Mm-hmm.
actually it rolls, which I think is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Josh Brown asks, are HasLab molds really 100% never to be used again? Seems like a good opportunity for interesting variants later in a different colorways. Sentinel, Blue Hiss, etc.
So what I have always said is that a HasLab is never that. So how to phrase? I know I phrased it before. In my how to phrase? The exact HasLab product offering is never going to be offered again. So like the Hiss tank that we did, the black Hiss tank with the electronics, the way that they are, with that extra premium offering where almost everything came like pre-decoed onto the Hiss tank with the beautiful treads and like the extra premiumness, that is never going to be released again. That is the only way that you are ever going to be able to get that. I think that there are just two, especially for like the Hiss tank mold. Like we know that has been used and reused like what, upwards of 10 times in the G.I. Joe line. And so I do personally think that it would be a miss to not be able to potentially reuse at least part of that mold in the future. However, to me, it's important that that HasLab, that version that came out as a HasLab is never re-released, and that the HasLab version is always the fanciest version that exists. That is the dream item. That is the premium, amazing, like wow moment for that item. So I don't necessarily, and I've said this before, I don't necessarily think that it's off the table to potentially reuse parts of that tooling, but that the HasLab product offering will never come back out again.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that, you know, like as a Hiss tank owner, like that was like when that was the understanding when I went into it, and you know, and now I've backed many other HasLabs since. But yeah, it's like there is that collectible aspect to what we do, and that there is that little I want that just to be the thing. I did.
I mean,
I did.
if any HasLab ever interests anyone, it's such an amazing,
Yeah,
you know, thing to see in front of your door. Just the sheer size of the box that shows up, and then to unbox it all it's beyond, you know, any other toy. Well, I guess people that get Hot Toys, they probably feel something special as well. But the sheer scale is just, it's something special.
Yeah. And I think that there's such a history especially in G.I. Joe with like, and we can everybody can have their own specific feelings on toy redecos, but there is a rich history in G.I. Joe toys of canonical redecos. And so I think that if we went into like classified by saying that was off limits, we would miss so many of those toys that were people's favorites. Like some people, those Tiger Force figures were the first figures that they had. And so to them, Tiger Force is normal and the regular releases are the weird ones.
Mm-hmm.
Did we lose?
Oh, Emily, are you there?
Let's see. Can you still see me?
Yay! Okay.
Hey! Okay, great. I was like, oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, it happened again.
Oh. We're dancing.
It's
Can
okay.
you see me?
Yes.
Okay. We're good. We're good. You're moving again.
Great. All right. I'm just going to stand real still and pretend like the wind isn't happening outside. What was I saying? HasLab redecos. Oh, right. Yeah. Redecos. Mm-hmm. But like, I think that there's, and you never know, like, what people think are like the normal versions of things.
Right.
So we certainly wouldn't want to cut ourselves off of potential figures for G.I. Joe when there are so many great ones that we can do.
Awesome.
Yeah. And Josh Brown said, thank you for the great answer.
Aw, thanks, Josh Brown. I appreciate it.
Literally Action Fig says there was a Tiger Force vamp. Just saying.
Sure was.
There you go.
Literally Action Figures also asked Emily, one of the Joes I had as a kid was Street Fighter Blanca. Given we saw a Power Rangers and Street Fighter crossover, any chance we'll see a Joe's Street Fighter partnership again?
We've always said that no G.I. Joes are truly off limits for classified series, so you never know where the line may go in the future.
There we go. That's a great answer. It's almost like you're good at this, Emily.
I've had a lot of media training. Please don't swear and please don't say anything stupid. Like, hey, you do.
That's where I would fail.
Emily,
I'd be so bad at this. I'd be like, all right, you guys promise not to tell anyone?
yeah.
Get closer.
Something that definitely gets better with time, and I feel really, really bad, but like I had to get into, I felt so guilty for not being able to tell everybody like everything that I knew. And so I feel bad saying this. And like, this is one of the things I was telling Priya as we were getting ready for WonderCon. And I was like, as horrible as this sounds, you don't owe anybody anything. So say what you need to say. Nobody knows if you're messing up. You're the only person who knows if you're saying something wrong. But all you need to do is just be polite and everything's going to be okay. Don't feel like you have to say anything to anybody, which really helps with me not spoiling things. But sometimes I forget and I say something stupid. But as the more you do this in public, the easier it gets.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Chris Allen
Classified terror drones. So we are acutely aware of the sizes of some of the original O-ring figures and product lines. So we, everybody goes, the USS flag. It would be like 100 feet long. It would have to live in your backyard. And then anybody who's married would have to live in it when you inevitably get divorced because it's such a poor financial choice to make. At one point, Lenny had mapped out what an accurate, like classified Sky Striker would be. And I think it was like 4 feet long or something. And so there are vehicles where we're like, okay, we love this. What's a way where we can like kind of size reduce it so that it still works, but so that we can like just get it in the line. But it's so like a terror drone. What would that be? Like that thing was huge. We just put one together for the vault at San Diego last year. Oh yeah, a Defiant. Okay, a Defiant would be taller than I am because we pulled one out of the archives for I think the 40th fan stream that we did. And I think the box was at least 3.5 feet tall. So like I'm imagining a giant grandfather clock, but it's a Defiant instead, which I mean sounds great.
It does sound amazing.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry I said that out loud. Imagine how expensive that would be.
Yeah.
Did back the Super 7 Thundercat cat lair.
Oh my god! So
there's some stomach for that type of thing.
Me and 5,000 other people.
I remember walking into the Super 7 booth at Comic-Con and just going, wow. And somebody was like, it's at an angle. And I'm like, what do you mean it's at an angle? Like, and they're like, it's bigger than this. Like, oh my God, this thing is huge.
It didn't fit in the glass box. They had to tip it.
I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing.
The Super 7 team it's so much fun to get to hang out with them. And when we were in San Francisco filming with Adam Savage for Tested for Ghostbusters, we got to swing by Super 7 and see Brian and Dora and have a really good time and kind of get to tour their space. But it's so cool, like to see kind of what they can dream up. Like that, the Cobra mothership that they designed was gorgeous. It was enormous. It could be a coffee table, but like it's so cool to see. Like dream big, guys. Like physically big. It's just so cool to see. And like our HasLab projects that. The Ghost, oh, good God, wait until you all get your ghosts if you ordered them. Because speaking of coffee table sized things.
Oh, yeah.
But it's crazy. Like, I ordered that one. I don't even collect that scale.
But it's one of those things where it's like, it's so cool that you just kind of have to order it, You're just like, I'm really going to regret this if I don't acquire this for myself.
Like, I'll never see this again in my lifetime.
Sorry, say again?
I said, I'll never see this again in my lifetime.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're a big Rebels fan, that's a must. Like that, I think that's such a must. It's such a great, and I can't wait to see where you put it. Chewy.
It's gonna be right here. You'll see it in every stream.
It's the
in the
only
box.
place where you can find it. It's going to sit on your lap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a weighted blanket, basically.
Josh Brad says I gotta put my ghost on top of my cat's lair.
Perfect. Can you get like, those tops that can kind of balance, like the birds that are like perfectly balanced on things? I wonder if you could kind of balance it on top like that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, big toys. I love them.
I mean,
Well,
watching-
on that note, it appears to be 10:40 in the
Yes,
evening. I didn't realize how late it was because all of you have been such lovely company this evening. So if you don't mind, I am going to excuse myself to go get my beauty sleep before this video tomorrow. It's okay. I'm going to have lots of concealer on. Is there any like last minute anything that I'm missing before I go?
No, just thank you so much for your energy. Thank you so much for your positivity. And thank you so much
for having me.
Thank you so much for incorporating Laserman into the Joe line.
Anytime. I am looking forward to discussing it over a hot cup of juice.
And
Meat
Emily,
juice.
don't worry.
I can't wait for
Sorry,
that
I
to
said
be on the next media training to be like,
Yep.
you are not allowed to accept any Lasermans.
Yep. No Lasermans.
How about Hey Man? I'll take Hey Man.
We'll talk to Chris after this stream, Emily. We'll run through some of those talking points that you laid out so eloquently.
Fabulous. Well, it's really just about kind of how you can build on your dreams, right? And maybe get them to a place that is just a teensy bit less Marvel's going to sue me.
It's less about Marvel suing you. It's more about Disney suing you.
Yes.
The fear level is way different.
Yeah, you don't want to be in litigation with the mouse. So they're going to win.
I will tell you, this is my dream right here. I have my own Laserman figs that I've made. I pitched them to you, Emily, and you've just listened. That's all I care.
Listening is, I think, the most underrated skill set of any human ever. Listening gets you so far in life, and being willing to ask questions that aren't like awful and just like ask, like, tell me more about this. Tell me why this is important to you. Tell me what you love about this. I learned so much about people and things just by asking, like, oh, tell me more. And then people just kind of go, and it's great. And I absolutely love it. So thank you guys for having me. This has been really, really lovely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you so much, Emily.
Time. We're excited to see all the future fan streams and convention appearances. We're excited to visit the Hasbro booth this summer in San Diego.
Yeah. We're
Be
going to get to come
great.
by. Yeah.
Well, I hope that it lives up to your expectations. And hopefully we all have a real good time.
Well, thank you, Emily. Have a great night. Have a great rest.
Thank you.
We'll be on for another 3 hours now.
Yeah. No, not three.
And that concludes the pre-show to the show. We'll start the deck and
Perfect. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you
Thank you,
later.
Emily.
Bye, Emily.
Bye.
Thank you.
Oh, man. That was awesome. That was awesome.
And we
I'm
now
so
start
happy.
the show.
I'm so happy.
Oh,
And we
actually, click the
Yeah.
slide.
Oh, I'm in there. Boop, boop, boop.
Hold on. I am like just.
This is what's making Yimbo happy. There we
It
go.
is.
There we go.
What were
That
you
was
doing,
fantastic.
Toy.Father?
Wait, yeah.
I'm just editing something.
Oh, no worries. I just wanted to get that slide up. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was great. And I'm so happy she stayed in chat as long as she did.
Yeah. Oh, that was so nice. That was so nice. So
Yeah, that was awesome.
and Chris,
fantastic job. That was your best elevator pitch yet.
Well, like I said, Emily, she really like lobbed me a couple to like set me up well. So, and
yeah.
I loved the idea, Yimbo, of pretending that I was an intern.
Right? Yeah, a little role.
That was,
That was,
that
really
was
good.
perfect and really smart of Emily because
Yeah.
it was a scenario, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't
of course.
necessarily pitching anything. So
Right.
That's what we'll do from now on.
Role play.
Right.
As Josh Brad says, that pitch, it was. Oh man, that was again. Practice makes better, right, everybody? As Gabby from Gabby's Dollhouse says to my daughter, reminds her all the time. Practice makes better. Oh, so gentlemen, that was excellent. I really did bring out all of my Joes and stuff, but that was just so neat to get to know Emily the person, and again her journey into toys, and that's so great. So Yes. How are we doing otherwise? With
I'm
life
good.
and toys.
Good. You know, it's busy. The days go by so quick. The weeks are going by. It's April now. I didn't realize. Like,
It's
Well,
April.
yeah, we do need to start rolling out our road to Comic-Con, road to San Diego, right? Road to STCC.
that's right.
We're still closing in on our 1,000 subs. Not that we're the YouTube guys that tend to talk about this, but anybody that happens to enjoy what we do each week, we are trying to hit that big goal. It would be great to happen sooner than Comic-Con, but yeah, if you can spread the word, make sure that you are in fact subbed, etc., etc. But yeah, just a little bit of that.
Yeah, but ultimately appreciate everyone in the chat for hanging around and asking great questions and being supportive. We appreciate you. We love you every week. Chris, what's making you happy today?
I don't know, just getting the time to do this, hang out with the boys and hanging out with Emily. I got to buy some toys this weekend. We'll get into that, but I really love. I'm glad that I'm getting back into photography, getting back into posting, and that's been a lot of fun. So I found the passion of that again.
And your passion's being well rewarded as well.
Yeah, what was that? 2 Mezco features, including a Mezco Monday win. So that's that's really fascinating that you're so inspired.
Yimbo, I love your support. You've just been nothing but a great support to me, so I really appreciate that.
Love you, man.
Next week it'll only be one of them. They haven't spoken all week since
No
Monday.
chewing. No chewing. I know what you're doing. Please stop. I gotta say, I almost died when you posted that 30-second video of your stream of are you gonna be like so pissed at Chris if he wins one day? And I was like, oh my god, they were talking about this.
Yeah, we were talking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. We were on stream for like 3 hours.
I just couldn't believe
I told my wife, I was like, hey, I'm just gonna hop on with Yimbo for like 40 minutes and be off. 3 hours later.
Here we go. Now this is a fun thing because yesterday I got to go to an arcade with my niece and nephew, my brother-in-law. It was awesome. We had a whole family day yesterday, and they had a Guitar Hero game. And I'm sorry I didn't pick Jukebox Hero. I ended up playing Sabotage, but I did play, and then I had the thought of my wife recording me playing Jukebox Hero, but it was for my children, so I only did it the one time. But I was gonna do it and send it to them.
Jukebox Hero is a fun one on the Guitar Hero. It definitely is.
But I went Sabotage. It's Sabotage. Bop, bop.
Maki Toy is actually, when he joins, you always know that their stream has ended, and they had Sparrow Toys, they brick something, they had Highly Articulated on talking about Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Series 2. Are you both going Epic All-In? Are you guys doing the draft that Chris denied our viewers of seeing an Epic All-In draft? Or Epic All-In?
Where speaking of which, let's look to see like where Sparrow is at.
Actually, we should do a Kickstarter check-in for the folks that have been on the show. They have ongoing.
That's a great idea.
Right now, so let's take a look at AWOC. Let's take a look at Agnes Garboska's positively pet puns, and let's take a look at Fox Forge Toys with Galactic Valor.
And real quick, while you guys are doing this, I love this idea. I'm gonna go use the restroom real fast. I'll be right back.
All right. So they're like they made $20,000 since we were with them. I think they were 207. Yeah,
that's really good. So that means they unlocked. What's that?
So what did they unlock?
They unlocked the Hoarded Troop Builder. Oh, they have some pictures up. Oh, that's cool. So these are the extra head sculpts that unlocked. They're not for purchase. They come with the figures. So each one will have their own second head that you could swap on. Oh, and these are the other ones for the big boys, the Bone Crushers. So Hannibal, Kali, and the dog all have. Oh, the dog has a cigar.
I backed both. What's his name? Grimes and Hannibal.
I went Hannibal, Boone, and the Chameleon. Those are the 3 I have.
Yeah. So I went Hannibal, Grimes, Boone, and Gresh. The
Gresh.
Let's see. We'll keep going down. So that.
Oh, that one has the alternate head. They haven't. This is unlocked, but it hasn't been revealed yet. The alternate heads for the 2 female characters. Yeah, that fox looks good.
Yeah, the fox is great.
I should add some weapons packs because look at some of these ones. They look great.
Weapon set, yeah.
They have one that looks like Maui from Moana's like fishhook.
Oh yeah. I saw that. So this one was the one that was unlocked at 220.
All right, that's a good one.
Horde Assassin.
And the next one, they're honing in. Next head unlock
for the assassins.
This was already unlocked.
Yeah,
this was you can order.
So and the next one would be that head sculpt, but also at 260, the Raving.
Nice.
If this gets unlocked,
I'll back Meryl. Ethan was recently they didn't have that image last week when we had them on.
Yeah, they didn't have this one. I really want this one.
That looks like a Kung Fu Panda villain.
It does. It looks like I just saw Kung Fu Panda 4. It looks like the one from I think it was Kung Fu Panda 3 or 2.
Not sure. The elephant, which is supposedly massive,
the Mamba.
General Mamba, and they showed an image of the rhino, but it's not up here for unlock yet. It might be too good. The fans would go wild.
Yeah,
but they're on their way.
I really want the exclusive Lino one that never came to fruition.
I think a little pushing on Jason. He might.
Okay.
I mean, Legion's Con. I mean, if he has an exclusive, that'd be cool. And that's Agnes Garboska.
That's Agnes Garboska.
You could just stay in Kickstarter and just type.
Oh yeah. Let's do that. There it is.
Oh yeah, literally action figures says rhinos and hippos. Be cool. And Machi Toy being the best salesman for Animal Wars of the Kingdom. Just do the epic all in. Do the epic all in.
Yeah, you should do it.
You should do it. You should do it, Chris.
Nice comeback.
We do the draft. How fun would that be? We'd be half miserable.
Agnes.
And then GARBOWSKA. So people in the chat, I'll just type in enter. Oh, nothing?
No.
Type in positively pet puns. Unless it's already done. I think it's PAW.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna just let me remove and then just do a.
You do that. You look up Fox Forge and I'll look up Agnes.
Agnes, okay.
Well, you guys are looking at. Oh no, there is more to our toy news segment. So I'll save what I was going to say. Oh, this is a perfect time. I want to start out by thanking Ender Shadow. We're gonna get to his post later on, but I just had to say thank you because he's the best. Oh, never mind. We're okay. I know.
Oh wait, I can put it down. How do I do it? There. Go ahead. Ender Shadow. Sir.
Yeah, look, the best. Heard me talking on a stream about the hoodies for Scarlet Spidey, and ended up sending me one.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Who
And
did
I
that?
got Ender Shadows, and now I have some stickers
so
to
nice.
put up in my my toy collection of stickers and
That's
awesome people in the
awesome.
community. So thank you again
That's so
so
nice.
much. And
So cool.
I will continue to gush, I'm sure, about it when we get to his post later on.
Actually, that reminds me, I ordered mine from.
Besley.
Yeah, it hasn't arrived. I think it's been 10 days. How quick does that kind of thing
doesn't-
ship?
No, it takes a while.
Okay.
I ordered a second one, so it hasn't come yet.
Okay.
It's been a while.
This is so great. So excited.
So, checking in with Positively Pet Puns
Mhm.
by the brilliant artist Agnes Garboska. She's at 13.7. She's made her initial funding goal, and I think now it is unlock time. So, let's see. Where's the unlock stuff? And for those that missed, they were unaware.
Go down. You just missed stretch goals.
First. All right. Campaign 12.5 glossy cover, 15K. She's going to add more pages to the book, more pages to the coloring book at 17.5, 20K. Black and white original drawings will be added. More pages, watercolors, original art, and if it gets above 30K, it will be determined from there.
Nice.
Very cool.
Congratulations there. Oh, it's so nice to see these Kickstarter again. People chasing dreams, chasing ideas, and just happy to be like a little part of that. Little part.
Super
It's
kind,
awesome.
and you will see a Toy Daddy's special page in the coloring book.
Meow.
Tins.
That's fantastic. Let's clip that one.
Next up, we have Galactic Valor by Fox Forge Toys. They may have passed the 50% mark. That's awesome.
Excellent. 20 days ago. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, again, that's a really fun looking line. I got to bump into them at ToyCon New Jersey after our streets of recently, and they're just the best. Love those people. Love them. Fox Forge.
Awesome.
We checked in with our Kickstarters. Let's go.
There we go. All right. So just remember, please share if you would like to let us know what's making you guys happy. We will gladly shout that out. So by all means, we love hearing the positivity. So here we go. Bloop. This is our figure again. Race to 100. The race to 100.
Let's just not even pretend we're trying to do anything else. We're racing to the best 100 figures.
Yep. And yeah. So far, Chewy, you're doing a nice job. I mean, again, just like spacing out. We have a whole summer of toys. We have again the toy news stuff to go over. But you're doing well with it so far.
It's okay, Chewy. I mean, you'll get to 100 eventually. You just won't get there first. I'm just saying. So
yeah, okay.
Sorry.
I didn't add anything to my list. I did pay for that second payment on those not turtles, so those will be coming at some point. I know.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, I have to add them too.
And then
thanks, Fling Cobb. I appreciate you.
And then this came in today, which I ordered last week.
Oh, cool.
39.
That looks nice.
Yeah. I love Hobby Yankee. It just shows up basically out of nowhere.
Which one was that? You're a little small on my screen right now.
Oh, here.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Hello, Poppet.
It's funny. I'm not even a huge fan. I love the first one. I'm not a huge fan of the sequels, but I'm a huge, Disney fan. So when I was at the parks earlier in the year, I was in line. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna order this figure. It's really fun. It's pretty cheap considering it's a Reveltech, and then it was sold out. So I just clicked notify me, and it's been like 3 months, and then I got the email. I just couldn't help myself. Let's check in with Mr. Yimbo.
Okay, here we go.
Is this a real number this time?
This is a real number. I've actually been. I told you guys last week. I think we were the last couple of weeks that I have my little old school 90s style composition notebook that I've been using for my to-do lists and also keeping track. I have it broken up by like where I'm buying things. So I wanted to make sure that yes, I did in fact have Not Donnie and Not Splinter from 5K. I did. I'm sticking with that line because they look awesome. And then Mikey just dropped too, and he looks great. Anyway, 56. Yeah, I'm at 56. So today was number 56.
Nice. Cross that 50% mark. Nice.
Yeah, but so it is now, like, now that I feel like I crossed over that 50 mark, everything really has to have that, because now space in the rest of the, because we're not doing any gimmicks, we're not doing any like buybacks or selling of figures, or there were trades. So this is it. So like I was super excited today. I found Kirby, and it's so funny because I was talking to some friends like Cox Create and Too Much New Toys about this figure, and like I was looking at an AliExpress link, and I was like, let me just, like, my store hadn't even put anything out yet, and my wife and I went today, and it was picked clean, but there was a one Kirby, and I was just super excited. So yeah, he was number 56, and that means that I'm tied with the father of toys.
No,
Hold
you're
on,
not.
Yimbo. Hold on, Yimbo.
You're not.
Did you count
Oh, boy.
Stealth Suit Mafek's cap?
No, I did not.
And did you count the on hold with Machu Toy Store?
Oh,
Flash, reverse flash.
no. And you know what's really funny? I do actually have I have an assorted retailers page of like Hobby Genki. I put my Max Fisher toys that I bought from him, and I have Machu. So yeah, I didn't
Machu
add
Toy
those in.
Store.
The Machu Toy Store. So the Mayfax cap, and then I that's really exciting that I'm getting those Flash figures. Ooh.
I mean, yes, those are brilliant. What's happening?
Sorry. Slideshow. I'm just,
you just-
I'm putting it up
Oh.
because I have a new because I edited it in the one that Yimbo had didn't update.
So no, that wouldn't I be now at 59 if I just added those 3 Machu toys?
Chris, buy something
three,
right now.
59.
Yeah. So now my space is really at a premium. Oh
Chris,
boy.
buy something quick, will you?
Hold on, you guys need to see what my new total is.
You just hit. Imagine you just hit purchase on like Amazon. You're like, oh, screw this.
Well, here's okay. So before I get into it, I bought I backed 4 figures for AWOC on the stream last week. That brought me back to 55.
Oh crap! Add 3 in mine. I'm at 42.
Oh my! You guys are the worst at this. Like, come on.
I don't have
Like,
a composite.
you
Hey,
guys-
listen,
no,
I don't
no.
have a composite
No.
notebook. I'm trying to be budget conscious.
This is ridiculous. Come on,
Chris, if you
Yeah.
here, put mine up. Put mine up. I have it fixed.
Perfect.
Share mine.
You're
That's already
59.
updated.
Chewy's 42. Is that what
Yeah, 42 with the AWOCs.
Okay. Oh my god.
I
Okay,
forgot.
so
I mean-
42. Yeah, 59. Now I bought. What did I buy? I bought 4 figures backing 4 figures for AWOC. I found that I had like 3 or 4 pre-orders that I forgot about, so I put those on, and then I just went whole hog on a bunch of X-Men figures this weekend. Yimbo was a super enabler with Machu, waving like all these figures in my face, and I was like,
In your
I need some of these. So I am currently at 65.
Wow.
So Goblin Queen, Jean Grey, Angel, Magneto, Nightcrawler, and the well-known X-Men Chester Cheetah.
Just like this last Mezco Monday, you have to be a
Nightcrawler's
one-upper. You just have to be a one-upper, Chris. I see how it is.
I knew it. Doing this on purpose, Yimbo. You see that? You see
And you know, when I reach 100 first, you guys are just suckers.
I mean, this is a really good list. You went heavy on X-Men.
Yeah, I did, because you know what? Like, they're really good figs. And
I mean, that Angel is one of the best of this
So-
year for, in my opinion, at least Marvel Legends.
yeah, I just got Angel. You can't see it because I'm over up.
Nicely wrapped.
Jean I really had considered that Jean Grey. I love Jean Grey ponytail, so I got that. And the Goblin Queen looked great after that episode, and it comes with Baby Nathan, so I'm like, I need that. And Magneto, oh my gosh, those 2 head sculpts on that Magneto, flipping fantastic. The Nightcrawler was probably one I could have passed on, to be honest. But but it has great articulation, like amazing, like great poses. And Chester Cheetah, I've always wanted that one, and I bought a bag of Cheetos with my kids, and I'm like, oh, they made a figure of this one, and they're like, of what? I was like, the cheetah. They're like, of that guy. I was like, yeah, let's go check them out. And so I did purchase them.
That's awesome. I think as long as you're happy with your 100 and there's no real filler, I think that will be an accomplishment.
Yeah, no, I think what I like about it is that I've been playing with them, so I feel like they're good, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it'll be interesting to kind of be in retrospect of looking back at our purchases and being like, I wish I didn't get that one. I wish I didn't get that one.
I can safely say right now with the 42 I have, I don't feel that way about any of the 42.
Even with any of your pre-orders.
I thought I would feel that way with the Not Turtles. That, once we got the Mezco ones, that I wouldn't necessarily want these ones. And I would just let the pre-order, payment just let those lapse. But they look so good. I just had to order them. So yeah, I don't have any regrets yet.
I will say in 2024, though, I have only bought 24 figures. So
how's that
41
man, your pre-order game was really strong.
it was crazy.
Like, I think I went in with 16.
Yeah. And remember,
Yimbo won't count back.
I counted a few figures that I got. I counted like 10 figures I got in December. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. You started early too.
Yeah. So if I were to count those out, I'd probably be at 55.
And then Yimbo would be winning.
Yimbo's winning.
That looks real good.
Yeah, that's
looks great.
Trevor and I, he had posted it to his story too. They just got it. It's a great figure.
I
like what Jukebox Hero's saying. Let's take a look at Machu's count. Machu, what's your count at, man? Where you at?
No.
And Pablo's saying that he's happy that he's working on something exclusive for SDCC for a client. Makes him want to go so bad but can't.
Ooh.
Now I'm really curious, Pablo.
I wonder if it's
Pablo. What is it?
Well,
can you tell us?
We know who he's worked for before. Is it that company? Because that'd be cool.
Macho. I already won.
Well, yeah, that's right. He did do an epic all-in, and that's.
So, did we clarify? Did he and?
Yeah, they each got one.
What?
I appreciate that.
I do too. I think you should, but I think I've been telling you should do it. But
I like how we don't bug Yimbo about epi all-ins. Epic all-ins.
Well, only because if he does do it, it's.
It's hard because Yimbo's super susceptible to like this.
I'm looking at their Kickstarter now.
You would absolutely do an epic all-in. Like, they're so nice, and
yeah, I feel like Yimbo would really just do it, and then I'd be like, why did I influence him to do that?
And then we'd have to do it too.
And then we'd have to do it.
All right, I think we should all do it.
Okay, you go first.
3 epic all-ins.
You go first.
But honestly, people, check out their Kickstarter. It's fantastic, and it's a great team. Like, I really love talking with this team.
Yeah, it's great. Honestly, I'm not counting Epic All-In out. So
no, me neither, actually.
And I know he said you got to do it now rather than later. And if I do it, I will do it before the Kickstarter ends.
I will do it. Let me get a little further into April and let some of the March was expensive for me. I need to.
You said that. Yeah, you said that in February too.
Yeah, but March was double what I did in February, so I really had to cool it.
Okay.
But we'll keep track on it, and I'm with you. I'm not rolled out on Epi All-In.
All right, let's move on to some toy news.
Yes. I love this line.
Look at the hair on Mikey.
That's the one I would, if I saw it, because I saw Leo. This is again. I would totally be buying these if it wasn't just for really the 100, because these would not be for my kids. They would be for me, and then these spots are precious. So
I don't know. I think you would really like them.
I think your son might like them.
Yeah. The Leo
if I
looks
can,
great. The
if
Leo
I can
looks
get him
great.
back into playing with like my Motu, because like he was into them early on, but yeah.
How about that He-Man with the red chest piece?
Look at this.
Would that speak to you?
Like I said, this is a line that I would want. I have a ton like that, like Motu stuff when I got into toy photography, and I discovered that they were making these updated, like, you know, Origins figures. I was buying I have so many. That's what I'm trying to send. I have to hit up Cody again because I have a couple like that I wanted to send him because he fell in love with this line and swapping the parts and everything. So.
What do you think about this He-Man, the red chest piece? Yimbo.
I had the original with the caps in the back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thought you were gonna,
Thunder Punch.
I thought
Thunder
you were
Punch.
segueing back to Heyman. Be like, ooh, red variant Heyman.
No.
The red Heyman.
Not
would be
everything
so
has to do with Laserman, okay?
Who else could be a laser man on here?
Cyclone.
Cyclone would have been going.
That would be a really good one. I like. I think these won't count. Well, these won't count anyways because they got this as a giveaway. But if I pick up any more of the Motu turtles, my son really loves them.
Oh, that's his loophole. I see how it is.
Yeah.
He wants Mikey. He wants Mikey. The wig.
Uh-huh.
Prince Adam is a 2-pack with Cringer. That's a cartoon classic version. That'll count toward mine.
Mm-hmm. If I saw Mikey, I see. I'm personally a big fan of the hair too, like the hair. Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of that hair helmet and Mikey or whatever. So I would have a harder time passing on that if I saw it on a Target peg. And then that might be the one just to dabble, but we'll see.
I mean, that Casey Jones comes with so much stuff.
Yeah.
I just feel like they scream Yimbo, these Motu.
Yimbonia.
No, I know.
But
know.
hey, if you see
we have Comic-Con to plan for. Remember, none of us get paid for any of this toy stuff.
And that's why Flash and Reverse Flash are on layaway right now.
Yeah, exactly. And the macho layaway plan. Oh, I don't think I added these guys.
60.
Oh crap! Ends. Did you ever?
Counts as one. We count the turtles as one, but counts as one.
Yeah, it's still 60.
And I still wanted that Logan that came out too. The movie Logan, the re-release.
61.
Not Deadpool though. Right.
I don't need that. I
think if you have SH, you don't need that Deadpool.
That's I have the original Legends from the 2-pack anyway. I have this is just the updated. Just maybe the firearms are removable. His from the holsters.
61.
So yeah, I forgot about that pack. Shield pack.
Okay. Yeah.
This shield pack. I don't think we've said it yet, but I think the Legends team is on fire this year.
Oh yeah,
in those Wolverine 2-packs, this 3-pack, Angel, those X-Men 97 Wave 2. It's a lot of really good figures.
Yeah, the
Power Princess was earlier this year.
Yeah, these are great ones.
Yep. Yeah, that was must have. And then I added this in real quick because it is Holothon. And I gave you my rundown. No, they were not. They were picked clean. I'm telling you, it was that. My wife talked me out of the Sinja robots. There was the 2-pack there, and I was like, oh, but I know, but there's only 2. Yeah, so it was the white and the blue. I had one blue, and I was like, oh, this would be perfect. Rule of 3s, and she's like, no, you can get Kirby. This is why when you go toy hunting with your conscience.
Your wife's like, no, you can get the old man. Put the robots down. Yeah,
put the robots down. So that Punk Turtle, I'm incredibly happy for anybody that's gotten their hands on that set. I know our buddy Toy Mirth, he was posting some pictures of them. They're neat. they're really TMNTJ, 1987. Like he's been killing it with it. But it's another one that, like, I don't know if I need another set of turtles personally for myself. So
I know I didn't need the punk turtles. I loved the look of them, but I knew I wouldn't use them as much as I would normally. The Pizza Club ones with Chef Mikey and the pizza dough over Raph's head. Like,
now I know.
I still look at them being like, I just want it for the pizza accessories.
I know, and that's how NECA's been getting us, which is again good for them.
I mean, yeah.
But like when it comes to some of these, I'm like,
I mean, the next holothon wave is already kind of spoiled out there as well. Another 4-pack, Vacation, Bebop Rocksteady.
Oh, is that the one that Machi was talking about? Then he wants the next 4-pack. What's the next? Oh, is that the wrestler one? The wrestling
one,
set?
Yeah.
Man, that would be cool too. But yeah, we'll have to see. Again,
speaking of wrestling, are we going to do a little bit of watch along?
Well, Machu's not going to be around this week. So this past Friday we started. Machu had kicked off like previously on X-Men. So I think this week is going to get skipped.
No.
Saturday. So I think we're going to skip this Saturday because he won't be away. But that means we'll cover the following week or whoever he invites, to the stream. So
I meant WrestleMania.
No, I know. So that means I'm saying instead that's X-Men. We have that potential for doing a little bit of, maybe not the entirety of WrestleMania, but
at least on Sunday, we'll at least cover the main event.
Yeah, well, I'll be on, and then I'll be so sad because I start work again on Monday.
I start work again in like 9 hours. Enjoy your time.
Yeah. Well, just to go back to Machu's, is the 100 about accountability towards space or towards spending?
Both.
For me, it's spending.
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Both. But the spending would be nice if we curb that,
Yes, that too.
I mean, is yours really space No.Chewing? Because you have all these other toys too that you're like, all right, yeah, I'm not counting this to the 100 because it was given, but it's space.
It's a giveaway.
Space.
It's a giveaway.
But
am I supposed to not enter giveaways on YouTube?
I'm just saying, it's space.
It's space. No, it's fine. I don't have a problem. You have a problem.
All right.
I am winning.
So here we are, everybody. We are at our top 10. Here's one of the TPC nominators, Sandra Bell Warhammer. This is, man, oh man, I still have to see Dune 2.
I know. I forgot what happened in Dune 1, to be honest. So I got to watch Dune 1 again.
Machu, if you just want in, just come in.
But, so is this which figure did this come out for Dune 2? Is this part of the McFarlane line towards the movie?
I really don't know.
I didn't see the movie either.
It looks cool though.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely Timothée Chalamet. I like that cloth goods edition, which I feel like.
Who is that?
Timothée Chalamet.
Who? Say it again, like the way you did it.
Chalamet.
Get closer.
Timothée Chalamet.
Chalamet.
Ooh.
I don't know. I just like the way you said it.
Sure, it's not Chalamet.
Yes.
Willy Wonka. But yeah, I really like that soft goods edition. I don't know if that was their own touch to it,
cool.
but that plays nicely. Love the texture in that, and what a crazy dio.
Yeah, it's a really cool dio. I like that. I wonder if it's like one of those ones where it's like crumpled up bag. It's just like.
Oh yeah, it could be.
I love it when people use crumpled up bags or stacked up cardboards, and they make this amazing looking dio.
Yeah. Oh, you just reminded me. I've never tried. I've done the cardboard inserts for appliances. I once painted one on my street to be like, hey, look at this, and it works. It does work really well as a ground. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the cardboard filler paper in some of our toy shipping packages. I haven't messed with that, but I've seen people do some crazy, just make little canyons and again Star Wars-esque, like rock formations out of just that. So I gotta mess around with that more.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm really still considering that SH Arts rock thing that you got. $30 Amazon.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
Mhm.
Do you have
I
any
see-
of the other ones, like the wind effect, the water effect?
I don't have the wind or water, but I had the fire. The fire is awesome too.
The water one is maybe.
They have a blue one and like I think the green one's wind, but
Mm-hmm.
it's very tempting.
Sandra Bell got back to me. What's the story behind your picture? Behind the scene is my passion for Dune Saga. Two important elements in the saga are Paul, how do you say it? Atreides and Sam Wern's. I love making dioramas, custom figures, and toy photography in general. It is something that makes me very happy and serves as medicine against the stress of everyday life. No
That's right.
kidding, right?
Absolutely.
And that's what I think that I finally have found the passion back in toy photography. It has helped me like deal with some stress, so it's been good.
Yeah.
You had said something interesting earlier about a little bit of the anxiety as an artist or photographer trying to like capture these photos and having
Mm-hmm.
that what's it that complex
Imposter syndrome.
It's
imposter syndrome.
imposter syndrome, and just like, is it good enough?
But interestingly enough, like I have that with my day job all the time.
Oh yeah,
But with this hobby, I've never actually felt that. Like it's always been so much fun for me that I don't have a lot of anxiety at all. I was like, oh, I can't do this or this didn't work out because I don't know. It's just one of those rare healthy things that I have where it's all fun. It's never like with photography, it's never like, oh, this is a burden that or I think this sucks.
Well, I mean, I definitely have like real bad like imposter syndrome when it comes to toy photography. I for some reason for myself, I don't feel like I have the professional chops to like really explain what I do. I just do it and I just think it looks good, and so I just post it. There's nothing that technical that I can really go into to give like that input or feedback. And so when I post something, I'm like, all right, well, it seems great. I think what has paralyzed me in the past couple of years really is past year or two is thinking, all right, I don't know what's the next goal I need to really think about to improve. I think that's the piece I've been really stuck on. Like, what do I want to concentrate on next?
And now I know
think-
your answer, Chris, which was beating me.
Yes,
That was the motivating fuel. That was
The
it.
whole-
I understand.
it
It's
all
Next week,
goes-
I'm going after Yimbo next week.
It all goes back to
58 photos.
Yimbo?
down the crapper.
But and again, it's just I don't know. Something about this hobby's always been so fun for me that it's always been that. And yeah, I'm just appreciative of that. And when you said that, it's like, oh, with this though, I guess I don't try to do like what you said, like we're knowing exactly what to do and trying to improve. Like I kind of stumble into improvement or adding different elements. But oftentimes when I post something or I take a smoke video, I'm like, that was fun. I liked how that looked.
Yeah.
Even people like Machu Toy, who is an incredible photographer, has this too. It definitely makes me feel better hearing that, right? I think again we're our own worst enemy, so that's why it's nice to have this like positive toy community to build each other up. Number 2 for Sandra Bell, what makes you happy in the toy community right now? I think a little bit of everything. Meeting people with the same hobbies and tastes, not only in toy photography, but in general. But also the types of figures I collect. I recently joined a small but cool Warhammer 440K photography group For now, it's not very popular, but the number of fans and collectors is increasing by the moment. It is great and fantastic universe, and I hope that Amazon and Henry Cavill know how to take it to big and small screen, doing it justice for a rich, extensive lore as it continues. I also love discovering new accounts and amazing photos. I watch them, and you always learn from the BTS. After all, it is a hobby that is more enjoyed if it is shared with the community. No doubt. Thank you, Sandra Bell.
Thank you. Seriously, killed that Dune shot. Love it. Love it.
Let's move on to number 9. I wanna be like Mike.
Oh, this is cool.
What?
Are those in the backdrop? Are those some tracksuit mafia guys?
Yes, they are.
think so.
It has to be.
How many tracksuit mafia people do you have, Yimbo?
Well, I shipped my pile of loot, so I'll have 3.
Okay.
Rule of
thirds.
thirds. Yeah.
Rule of
So-
turds.
Rule of turds.
And some of them came from Canada.
That's true.
Canada?
Canada.
Well, this is really awesome. This, honestly, the first, what was it? Wonder Woman 84? No, not, well, 84 had its moments too. But the Wonder Woman movie was so awesome, like seeing Gal Gadot in like any of her action sequences. And in one of those movies, wasn't it like there was a big sliding type of moment, I think, or at the beginning, right? Maybe it was 84 in the museum, perhaps? I'm trying to think.
That's one. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
So,
one of my favorite Wonder Woman figures, the SH Figure Arts.
It looks perfect. Yeah.
It is perfect. It's perfect. I love this figure so much.
Yeah, a lot
They
of great
did a great
action
job.
here.
Yeah, I like the little the radials and the bokeh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
I don't know, maybe.
Call them light circles.
Radials sounds more professional, but I don't know if that's right.
I was like, oh, interesting. I call them light circles. Okay.
And now I'm going to bring up a piece of advice that when we had Mitchell Wu both send in a video, and then when he got to hang out with us, on this awesome run that we've been having with these amazing people coming to hang out with us. So I know he's mentioned being aware of the kinetic action regarding your toy photography. So we obviously, this is now going to go hand in hand with what I'm going to say is, at the end of the day, just like we were all talking about with our photography, like just do what makes you happy, like try to improve upon some things. But at the end of the day, you need to be proud and want to share your work, right? So make it in whatever. But I love that Mitchell Wood did remind us of the other elements of what's going on in a photo. So having reasons, it's kind of like with motivated lighting that Trevor's taught us about, with like understanding, like if you have a fireplace, you want that orange glow from that angle, like a motivated lighting. So this is motivated kinetic action where she is sliding through. You're getting the awesome debris and kick up of everything, but it's in a situational sense, story wise. So I'm trying to wrap it all together.
Nice.
Sound good?
Right?
And
I really love those light circles.
No, I agree with you. You said that very succinctly. But yeah, I agree. Absolutely. I'm even admiring the slight angle of the ground that she's sliding across.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Do you have answers?
Yes, we do. It is. Hey, Chris. Hope this is okay. First, thanks for featuring my photo. It is a privilege to be on the TPC. I'm from Australia, mate. Throw another shrimp on the barbie. No, he didn't say that. I just said that. And relatively new to the world toy photography. If you do you ever watch Flight of the Conchords?
New Zealand.
New Zealand. They're from New Zealand, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Not Australia. You're like
Yeah.
You're doing all sorts of things to upset want to be like Mike right now.
Yeah, no, it's great because they said throw another shrimp on the Barbie, and then they were like, no, that's Australia, that's not New Zealand. Anyway, I'm relatively new to the toy photography world right now, and I've only been shooting for 8 months. My niche is action and cinematic photography, hence the Wonder Woman photo. Really, only 8 months? Wow,
Oh my
he's
goodness,
killing
look
it.
at this.
The dude is killing it. Look at that. That's awesome. Look at those light circles that look like bubbles. I love integrating motion and movement to give the photo a sense of realism, immersing the viewer right in the action. The Wonder Woman was inspired by a movie with debris, explosions all over the top, chaos. This shot was taken around the backyard in an area full of pebbles and dirt. I used a bit of Sir Dork flair to create the moment of the dirt and simulating an explosion, reinforcing why this is not why not add flying goons. Lastly, there was a post-editing work to refine the lighting and other bits. Toy photography allows me to reinvigorate my sense of creativity, which is a stark contrast to the daily corporate grind, and to be able to share with this like-minded individuals with the toy photography community is amazing. Conversely, the feedback and recognition for the community has been humbling. There's a downside, however. The toy cabinet is growing, therefore kept under lock and key away from prying eyes of my kids.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Don't touch the daddy toys. Ask for permission. What are you doing?
It's so hard. It's not this Buzz that's in this photo, but oh my goodness, look at this. But my son was playing with like SH Figure Arts, Buzz Lightyear, and a bunch of other figures like that. He used to be so gentle with it, and now he's less so. And I forget which toys he's broken recently. There's at least been like 3. It's just like one at the wrist, one that's a toy accessory, one something that connects to the back. I'm like, oh my god, please stop. These are not your toys. But so that said, 500 followers. Please give Want to Be Like Mike a follow. Their work is phenomenal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
Amazing.
Really incredible work.
Very nice. As Sir Trevor said, Brett. Hello, Brett. Again, New Zealand. That's New Zealand, not Australia.
That's right.
Not trying to get involved in this.
You need to be more like Bluey. Come on.
Well, Mike, I hope you throw another shrimp on the Barbie. Enjoy your photography.
Number 8.
Wolfan09.
Oh,
hey,
so topical. Really well done.
Amazing Magneto figure. Oof.
Slept on by so many, but I think everyone wants him now.
Yeah. I think so.
Great head sculpts.
Yimbo?
Not yet, but probably will.
What's 63?
I
know. You should do it, Yimbo. Yeah.
Well, do you want me to... I have Comic-Con. I got to prepare for Comic-Con in the summer of unemployment.
I keep reminding Yimbo that, too. I'm like, hey, Comic-Con's coming. And then he goes out and buys something. Like, all right, never mind. You do you, buddy. Fantastic photo. I don't want to get in spoiler territory. Did you guys watch today's episode?
I did not.
Not yet.
We just know it has to do with Mojo and Nintendo.
I did see maybe the trailer for it or pieces of it. So
I think you'll be happy that you have my extra. You'll have my extra.
Don't say anything.
Don't say anything. I got my long shot today too. Long shot arrived.
I'm saying nothing about the episode. Yimbo. I had an extra Mojo. Yimbo's getting it.
Right.
That's all.
Now I know.
What? That he's in it.
Yeah, I'm there.
It's the name of the episode.
So I'm thinking of starting a new bit, guys.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
Can I run it by you guys?
Yes.
All right.
Should I
so
start a timer?
First of all, we have like 9 months of this year, right? If I count. Okay, so April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, 9 months. Now, if I save 9 of my slots, so I just add 9 figures to my 65, that takes me up to 74. So then I will only have 24 figures to buy within the year to stay within the 100. Honestly, if I get to 120, I'll be okay. I feel like I'll be fine. But what if every month I have the chat decide what figure I should buy for that month?
Love it. Let's go.
As long as it's like, come on, make it reasonable. I'm not gonna buy like
People in the
Like
chat,
a
what
premium
figure
figure.
should Toy.Father buy for the month of April?
So I will take suggestions, and I will write it down, and then by the end of the month, we'll get to that. We'll get to it. Yeah, I know. No hot toys, guys.
Macho immediately is like,
Can
screw off.
we stick to like $30 figures maybe?
No, Mezcos. It has to be up to a Mezco.
No, because I have like every single Mezco. Like,
Oh, that's a challenge, people. Look at this guy. No, but I like the idea. I really do.
we can refine it.
I think you're open to suggestions, but I think it should be also reserved to figures that might be on the fence for you.
Oh, Machu Snake Eyes Mezco. That's one that I've been looking at, but no. Yimbo, are you aboard for this bit?
For sure. I'm just getting sad because I just noticed the web lines on my Mezco Spidey head is all jacked up.
What do you mean?
Like it's missing a spot and then it's off the line above the thing, and it just.
Is that the light up head?
No, it's not. The light up one. The light up one looks good. The squinty eye.
Yimbo, just ask Machu. Do you still have the heads you're never going to use?
Well, Henrock does still have his head sculpts. So the other thing I'm noticing about mine is that it's like, I didn't notice this the other day, but it's like a little loose. Like it's like a little bobblehead. Like I don't know if the neck peg is getting weird on me. But the light up head works the best. There's not the bobblehead movement. The other two though are messing with me. Anyway, look at that with the hoodie on. It's so nice.
Dr. Machu, are you still in the building? Oh yeah, he has the Mezco heads. Yimbo, count that as one. One slot? Oh, that's a high-priced head.
But yeah, I don't know if you guys can tell from here.
You can't really see it.
It's over this eye. No, this eye.
Oh, I see it. It's
I see
it's not really there.
Yeah, well, there. No, yeah, this side.
Yeah.
So it's missing a thing, and then it's also like up over there.
Oh, okay.
That's frustrating.
You might be able to fix that.
Grumble.
But
the bobblehead thing, he's shaking. Like it's from the. I don't know.
Wait, do it again.
Like it's moving around. Like
oh.
Like look how fat. Look at that.
let me see my
Jiggle.
Well, they're trying to compete with Funko. It's a bobblehead.
I'm just saying that's weird. That's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, mine
It doesn't feel like that. Is it doing it too?
No. I'm trying to look at my head. It looks perfect. Sorry. I didn't mean to make it sound like that, Yimbo, but
I'm trying to look at mine, but it's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it at all.
I mean, it could explain why I won the Mezco money, but I'm just Yimbo, I'm joking.
So
I love you.
Sad Yimbo.
I think I know you've emailed them before. You may want to see what they say.
Well, I didn't get it from them, so they're gonna say.
That's right.
They're gonna say who? Who are you? We know you.
Oh. We can't do that live.
I'm not gonna. I'm not
Andrew
gonna.
Shadow has a suggestion. 112 Devil Toys Mecha will rise Magnum and F11.
Will Rise Magnum is a different one.
Oh, okay.
Right? I'm guessing.
I don't know, but you got some suggestions, and then
I got
Bonnie Rotten has a suggestion.
YOLO Park Optimus.
I will probably buy that this month because it looks amazing.
Yeah, I think that could be one. That could be one. I put Snake Eyes Mezco in there. I don't know what FX11 is. Will Rise Magnum in the 112 Toys Mecca.
Enders, can you send Chris a pic or whoever that might be?
I put it on my list, guys. It's on my list for April.
I think next stop is you create a story with a poll, and you also put it in your what is it, the channel thing.
Well, so this is what we'll do. We'll get suggestions each week, right? Last week we'll do a poll, and then I'll reveal on the last week what it would be.
No, we do a wheel, and you have to buy it.
I don't want to. No, I want to I want it. Like I like the suggestions, and then I pick.
Oh, this one.
Oh,
I support this one.
I'll put it on. I did look at it at one point.
It's so cool, and it's probably the closest in scale you'll have.
It is pretty cool.
Yimbo, you okay? You got quiet.
I'm okay.
All right.
Sorry, Yimbo.
Okay. Do we have answers from Lily fan?
Yes, we do. Where is she?
Really love the framing of the firearms, by the way, all around.
Yeah.
Anita.
Great work on the shadow and on the body, and then the extra low touch on the eyes.
Lil Fan 09 says, "Thank you and your event. It is an honor to participate. My photo story is relatively simple. It shows Magneto's basic abilities. The dismantling of weapons is probably my favorite part. As for the part that makes me happy in the toy industry, I can probably see many people with good skills modifying or customizing toys so that toys can be displayed in different ways from the original ones. He must be a big fan of Laserman. It is very exciting and interesting. I hope Marvel Legends will release Hulkbuster soon. Thanks. Pound." He did the fist emoji.
Nice. Well, you can't go wrong if you did want to invest in that Hulkbuster from 3-0. That one's neat.
Have you shot that one yet?
No.
Okay.
Sad Yimbo. No.
I don't know. I'm sorry, Yimbo.
No, it's okay. Remember, Mezco is my toxic ex-girlfriend. So
Thank you for noticing me.
That's okay. That's just I'll continue to love them, and it's okay. They'll just continue to do the things they do to me.
I love you, Mezco. Let's move on.
I do too. Clearly.
Wait. Yeah, that's right. Hold on, Mezco. I'll take care of this.
Who's this? Chase Picks 66?
Chase Picks, sir.
Nice.
I was going to say chess picks.
You would say chess picks.
I know. I realized that as it came out of my mouth.
Great sunset.
This is so realistic. It looks. Oh.
I'm hoping. I mean, obviously, there must be some level of. Well, there's going to be some level of digital editing thanks to the two sons. But I'm very curious as to if this was out on like a desert type landscape. I mean, this is really. I love the silhouette that they captured.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the Mando plane, right? The refurbed. Right, the one he got, or no?
I have no idea.
Yes, it is.
Okay, all right. See, I know some Star Wars stuff.
I know Star Wars.
You watch The Mandalorian though, right?
No, that's what I mean. I love the Mandalorian. That's what I'm all in on the Mandalorian. So
okay.
That's what it looked like. But I know that was based on the Clone Wars. That was that whole.
So slight misspelling. It's instead of the S, it's a Z. So
Ches Picks.
66.
My bad, guys.
Oh, and Vonnie Rotten says this guy must really live close to the beach because he does a lot of beach shots.
Oh
man, a beach. Oh, is that a surf? Is that what I'm seeing? Now I got to make this a little bit bigger.
Hold on.
Is that water? Is that over water? Is this like?
Let's take a look and see if there's something. Nothing there. Hold on. He must be by a beach, yeah.
Oh, neat.
That's cool.
Getting that reflection, the reflection off
look
of
at this
the water.
one.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nice with the mist.
So is that one of the micro machine? Not micro machine. Whatever that. What is that?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
No, I think this is vintage series. Vintage
Oh.
selection.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Very cool. Oh, look at this one. These are nice.
And these are all 1/18 scale, presumably. If these are all
Yeah, TVC. I think. Yeah, I think so. Oh, look at this.
I mean, if
Ooh,
you-
that's so cool.
If you are a Star Wars
Look
fan,
at this. So good.
yeah, those vintage series figures are so detailed for the size. You really can't go wrong, because then again, if it's a matter of space in your life for toys,
Oh, I like that one.
yeah.
Oh, I think I have answers. Hold on.
Ches picks.
Ches picks. Man, guys, this is great.
Ooh, real quick, while Chewy's looking up the answers, I can share with you guys that I posted today a review of Diamond Select Captain America.
Nice.
So
That's
full-blown
right.
comparison is up with all of my caps, which it turned out to be a lot. That I have. Turns out I have a lot of Captain America figures, spanning Mezco, SHF, and Marvel Legends. So if you are interested in that new Marvel Select, go check out that. And, you know, obviously Toy.Father over on Threads, given you're doing the reels. Toy.Father. Do you have a clever name for it yet?
It's called Toy.Father's Quick Assessment.
Okay, so no, we're workshopping it.
You workshop that one. It's up for
Wait. When I pitched this, the idea of like a minute review.
Yeah, it's not even a minute. It's like
Yeah.
20, 30 seconds.
Oh, we pitched it as, do I like this? And then that's it. Toy.Father, do I like this?
That's the last question that shows up.
I know. I saw it. I didn't comment on it or anything, but I saw it and I liked it.
Yeah, I know. I saw that you saw it.
I didn't react to it really.
I know.
The thumbs didn't work at the time.
No, yeah. You know, it's the thing. I'm trying out. But yeah, Yimbo, can't wait to see that Captain America Diamond Select review, because I really do love that figure. It is a lot of fun.
It looks really cool. It really does.
It's I want to say it's like a definitive cap.
Really? Wow, that's high praise.
It's
Okay.
like that Steve Roger unmasked head is really nice.
Yeah.
I love the way the shield clicks in.
Mm-hmm. The shield, yeah. Did you play with that one a lot, Yimbo?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get some, you know, Machu level posing if I can even sniff his tear, but it can get a lot more articulation than I mean, I just think that again, Diamond has been listening to the toy community, listening to people that do what we do, and talking about specific things in articulation. I mean, literally one of the first thing that I compare it to is this old Diamond Select Spidey.
Oh,
That came with the was this the smashed car one? I don't even know. Or that was
I got you, Chris.
But anyway, like this is a gorgeous figure, just like all of theirs are, but you can't do much of anything Spider-Man related. There's no like, so going from what this guy is, you can't even look up and down, to like where this Cap figure is. It's really incredible to see the growth of them as toy makers. So
totally agree.
No answers, unfortunately. So let's move on to number 6.
Raya Bubba.
Raya Bubba? Raya
Bubba.
Raya Bubba.
Raya.
Hey.
My kids call my
Hey,
dad
hey, Bubba.
So that's why it's 2 B's with the Bubba. That's why I'm thinking Raya Bubba. photos.
Oh, okay. Love how they got the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So good.
And that's
and that tub.
clearly practical. What is in that tub? Is that some like foam that like or like the like
it looks like bubbles or like it's just bubbles, little small bubbles.
Maybe
like
dish
foam.
soap.
Yeah,
maybe
looks
yeah.
like that.
Really nice.
That's so great. I
So
wonder if they had to use a bubble wand to make to make the actual bubble.
How much fun are bubble wands? I love bubble wands. Like the biggest bubble you can get with those, really nice.
Are you talking about just the straight up wand, or
Yeah. And you
I
just go like
bought-
this.
did you ever buy the ones that opened up? So you hold the button, you hold the wand down, and it becomes a stick again. But you release it a little bit, it opens up
it's
into like
a
this
big
like
one.
V or kite shape.
I've used them. Those are typically the ones I buy, but yeah.
Yeah.
You go on Amazon, you get the bubble wands like 30 for like, I don't know, $20, something like that.
Yeah, so fun.
Sorry, let's go back. This is like the second week in a row with an awesome 112 scale tub, and now I really want to get a 112 scale tub.
I think you need it for all your tub photos.
For all my tub photos. Yeah.
Toys and tubs. That's gonna be your next review thing. It will be you do your quick assessment, and then at the end, it's a picture of a toy in a tub.
So it's like Toy.Father's quick assessment doesn't necessarily roll off tongue. Is that what you guys saying?
No, it's great.
Yimbo.
I love it. It's so good.
It's
You know what's equally as worse than No.Chewing not commenting on anything that I post is when Yimbo is just silent.
He's just staring down. He's like, yeah.
I'm such a person. I'm like such a people pleaser, or like a person that looks for like positive affirmations, and when I don't receive them, I'm just like,
Bonnie's giving you some love. Toy.Father's Fast Figures.
there we go.
Love it.
I love alliteration, so
Fast.
this is why we're workshopping. So yeah, that's my answer. We're workshopping.
Yeah, that's your answer, which means you didn't like Toy.Father's quick assessment.
It sounds like a form.
Yeah, it does.
Did you fill out your TF109? They're the quick assessment form.
I like bath time. That would be funny if it was called Bath Time Toys with Toy.Father and had nothing to do with bath.
What, you don't like toys and tubs? No.
You guys, I love you guys. You know.
Same, Chris. Same. Look at this new shot.
Oh, that's a good one.
Sir Dork's Noodle Challenge. I wish I spent more time with it, but people were so creative with it. It's a thing of beauty. Oh, let me check for answers.
I like the simplicity of that background. Like, I'm thinking maybe it wouldn't be cool if it was just a tile piece. I was just thinking I should buy more like tile pieces for backgrounds, you know?
Yeah, you should.
They're like cheap, like tiles.
I use it for floors.
Tiles? Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, and they were super cheap. I got.
You can do the samples.
Yeah, you could do that, or you can get an uncut kind of thing.
Yeah.
Tile. It's like I had a choice of 111 by 18, and it was like $6. But instead, I got 3 pieces of 11 by like 3 or whatever it was.
Yimbo, do you use the? Didn't you use tiles? I thought you did.
Never used tiles, but I was at Dollar General a couple weeks ago, and I saw that they didn't have real tile, but they had like the stuff that you could put up on your wall, like to replicate that look. And I thought, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna come back for try to figure out
Like
something that could be a
splash
nice, yeah, like no, it's like you could buy it to put up on your house, but it was like it wasn't the actual tile, it was just to mimic it. So it was like it would stick on the wall or whatever. But I was thinking about buying one that could be a nice like floor texture to it. So
Machu, when you get to this late, like it's unhinged. I mean,
Machi, just put the camera back on. God.
I can't think of like whatever comes to mind.
When you say it like this, Machu, though, you went from bubbles to tubs to tiles.
They're all related.
That all makes sense. That's
they're all related.
And associated with this picture, it totally makes sense. But we do have answers, and I'll read them off. From Raya Bubba Photos. Hello, thank you for your words. I appreciate it very much. Behind the photo, there's a moment of inspiration with my daughter. She's 5 years old, and she likes Ninja Turtles, something that I've passed on to her. It has a dollhouse, and one day, it has a dollhouse, and one day speaking with a small toy photography community that we have in Catalonia. Oh yes, that's right. He's located in Spain. They told me that I could use it for a photo, and I suggested to my daughter to make some soap bubbles. We used a straw and a glass of soap. Blown when you manage to leave the bubbles on Michelangelo's hands. Very cool. And from the world of toy photography, I like to see how spectacular some of the photos we can take. I follow several toy photographers, and I learn a lot watching their BTS. I am happy photographing and playing with the figures. The truth is. And then he says, apologies for my English. But it's all good. Thank you for the answers, Raya Bubba.
That's a great photo.
So he's located in Catalonia. So that's awesome. That explains a lot of the sunsets.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Number 5.
Ooh, Ted 5 standing by.
Awesome name.
This was I stumbled upon this account, and I nominated this photo because I just thought the posing was perfect, and it was just a great photo.
Yeah, I'm digging that the arrow sticking out of the Valiant Knight right there too.
Yeah.
Man down.
Totally.
Oh, it's really good. I'm also bringing up his account, and here is the full photo. It applies even more cool edging of bokeh in the foregrounds and even in the far background. So it's a nice composition. Great job.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what I think Machu said this to us when Valiant Knight first came out. It's a great buck for injured soldiers or soldiers down, knights down, and exactly that. It gives you that amount of articulation and flexibility that you can, communicate that something's wrong with this. Something's terribly wrong with this knight. Might be the arrow. Diggs Fig says, "I'm late. How'd the elevator pitch go?"
We did it, Diggs Figs. Look for it on the next Joe line.
It's now considered a Laserman classified.
I mean, I did have to give up a few things, like the rights to Laserman, my soul.
Had to change the design.
Change the design by a lot. In fact, we're not even going to include Laserman, just some of the villains. And by villains, I mean just like a cow accessory.
I like how you mentioned, and this is his the best friend, Cow.
I had to I didn't want to get too excited. Yeah, I should have. Cow, his best friend, Cow.
No, it's like the description sometimes when you talk about farm. That's a diorama.
Farm, yeah.
Haystacks.
I should have shown her some of my stuff.
Yeah, he sold out a little bit, Diggs Figs, but compromise. We do have answers. Let me bring those up from Ted 5 standing by. Again, great username.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. He says, "Hey, that sounds great. Thank you for reaching out. For number one, this inspiration for this photo came about in my usual way, which is that I sit at my desk with a figure and just pose, getting a feeling for the figure and what they're capable of. Once I got a pose I'm happy with, I try to inject a bit of emotion into it, kind of approach it from a movie making view. So I basically ask myself, how can I make this resonate with people? Based on that, I want to convey the figure character feeling shock as they reach up for the arrow and it dawns on them that it's in their that this is their end. As for the actual shot, I just used my Canon 750D with a 50mm lens, set up under a bush in my garden, cranked the f-stop as low as possible to really sell the feeling of isolation. Once I was happy with the image itself, I then run it through Lightroom on my phone and just choose a preset I like the best.
Oh.
And isn't my strong suit, so I try and do as much as I can in frame. The thing that makes me happiest about the toy community is how supportive everyone is. There's little to no gatekeeping, and that's so refreshing. I love people and how they are always open to collaboration no matter the skill level. Feedback on your photo goes such a long way. I know we don't do this for the likes and the reach, but when a person takes the time to comment on your photo, telling you how they enjoyed it and how it made them want to buy the figure in frame, it really warms you. I've made some really great friends doing this hobby. I've learned so much and have even been able to teach a few people some tricks too, which I feel is the real privilege. Very cool. Thank you for the answers. Chris, I love your photo on Monday. It made me smile.
Me too.
Oh, thank you guys.
At the potential of rivalry.
No, I really, honestly, when I saw that clip with you guys, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think you were talking about it.
I mean, pull back the curtain. When I said, oh, here's my setup, you immediately went, oh, I'm going to go get my mesits and do a shot now too. And I said, you really want to test our friendship like this, Chris?
What I meant was what I meant, Yimbo, was let's do a collab, but
It's okay. It's okay.
And I only do it for the yucks. I love the jokes. Patrick says the knight represents each of you at this time, barely able to stand up.
I know.
Patrick, I challenge you. Plug back in that camera. We'll go for 2 more hours. I'll show you.
Yeah, you do that. Okay. Well, let's move on to
number 4. Hold on. Yimbo wants to show us something.
I opened up my little Pez and just built the Pez stand.
Very cool.
And to give you an idea of scale.
Ooh.
Hold on.
Close. It's close. It would work perfectly with
It's a little large. Slightly large.
Go get your Hulk. Fits better.
Or
Diamond Select Hulk.
Or oh yeah, baby, hang on.
Ooh, baby.
Hold on. This is the squirrel. This is the new squirrel here.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's good, Yimbo.
Well, I'll probably lose to
It's already gone.
one other friend next week's Mezco Monday when I try to do a Pez shot with the turtles.
I think I might get the Pez to do that.
What's up, Clintastic in the house? What's up, man?
Hey, what's up,
What's
Clint?
going on?
Chris, I'm actually, I'm not upset about this at all. I'm more bummed about the paint job that they did on that
hiding
mask.
his feelings.
No, I'm mad about the mask.
He's masking his feelings.
Keep bumping him.
So, Yimbo.
Yes, sir.
Great.
I can add myself back in you.
I appreciate you, Yimbo.
All right, let's move on. Number 4, major
It's getting
scale.
late. It's getting late. Can you just like talk? Because I am like toasted.
Yimbo, eyes up. Witching hour for Chris. He's asleep.
Major
All right.
scale. Love it.
This is an awesome shot. I love the mashup.
We always talk about details, and I love like this ritualistic, like skulls on the ground and the fire pit thing. Really love that. I mean, I just the degree of planning on this photo is great.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's Predator, it's Indiana Jones, but I feel like judging by where Indiana Jones has gone in the past couple of decades, it's not so far fetched that they would actually run into each other in some sort of temple.
Yeah.
I still have to watch the latest one. I know it's been on Disney Plus forever, but
Same.
Oh, you have neither of you watched it?
I watched
No.
like half of it and then didn't finish it.
Yeah, I get it. It's kind of a long movie.
is it good? Am I going to want to see it?
Yeah, it's all right.
Is it better than Kingdom, or what is it, Crystal Skulls?
It's better than Crystal Skulls, yes. The beginning is good. I really like I'm spoiling a movie a little bit, but it's a light spoiler. It starts off with a flashback.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed that that moment of the film. So I really enjoyed the beginning with the flashback, and I do like the third act. I think it does something. It tries something at least. I would have preferred if I can't say it without spoiling. So.
All right. Yeah, no spoiler. You know me, guys. Please no. I mean, it's my fault. If I do, it is my fault because it's been on Disney Plus forever now.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Who has answers?
Oh, that would be me. Duh. All right. So yes, major scale. All right. I do love this shot.
Are you laughing that this is the part of the show where I push the show along? Because
no, I just love his duh.
All right. So, oh man. All right. Well, I sent my questions on Tuesday, and I guess they got they didn't realize if it was the Superman versus Godzilla or the Indiana Jones and the Predator. So that's on me. Sorry, major scale, because I'm just getting back now. I usually like to blast those out and then discover them live, but I just discovered I should have checked my DMs before right now. So sorry about that.
That's actually that happens to me every week now. So when I send off the questions, I send them the photo as well. I forward it back to them in the message.
Well, my bad.
Just
all right.
Just for next time.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. Obviously, we were talking about this awesome shot. Great posing. Awesome composition. Moving on.
Moving on.
Number 3.
Yes. Oh, there he is.
Here we go.
Ender's Shadow coming in number 3 with one of my top figures of this year. Like in my, what am I up to now? Takes the
11 B100s.
Yeah, this is still one of my favorite like toys that I've messed with, and one I want to revisit. With when I get back into like, I literally leave all my Spider-Verse toys out because I always want to do stuff with them. At this point, I'm just waiting to finally paint my awesome Josh Brown Mayday Parker. So in the meantime, seeing a picture like this, like look at the bokeh and the mist for me, and the posing, obviously. But that's to take all the compliments.
Yeah, no, this is a fantastic figure. I do love it so much. I'm glad that he decided not to use that really like weird choice of cape that they gave.
No one's ever going to use that cape.
Yeah,
no one's ever going to use it. That was a I don't know. It felt like a reason to inflate the price of it to what it was, because I don't know who was gonna. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't tried. Maybe there are great photos of that cape usage out there, but
did you see? Sorry, keep going.
No, I was just gonna say I certainly haven't figured out how to do it yet.
Did you see? Vonnie Rottenpick said you could glue a Mezzet head to the Pez. Did we talk about that?
I will think about it.
Okay.
My toy anxiety.
It's okay. Chris is gonna do it because he has like a bag of Mezzets.
Yeah. Are you Are you gonna do it?
Are you not going to take the idea? Can Chris have the idea?
Just joking, dude. I wouldn't do that. I don't even have the Pez thing yet.
Yes. Tomorrow on Toy.Father's Fast Figure Reviews.
I'm thinking rapid reviews. Toy.Father's rapid review.
Okay.
Here's some running ones. Well, Yimbo finds those answers. Toy.Father's Fast Figures, Bat Toys with Toy.Father. Thank you, Macho.
Toys with Toy.Father. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's really bad. Toy.Father's Playtime Picks.
Okay.
Toy.Father's Toy Box Talk. Toy.Father's Toy Box Tidbits.
Tidbits, huh?
Toy.Father's Fun Finds.
Oh, okay.
Those are just a few. Toy.Father's Toy Fix. Clintastic. Yes.
That's actually perfect. TFTF. I love it.
Toy Fix.
I don't even want you to read off any other ones. That's the one.
That is the one.
So I opened up
Oh my god.
Jack Sparrow.
I'm Jack Sparrow.
He's a tiny guy. You want to
Look
see how
at
tiny he is?
details. That's an incredibly detailed Revel attack.
But do you want to see how small he is?
I mean, yeah.
Focus on.
How does he compare to Woody?
He's boxed up, but this is Morph.
So did Morph come with that head?
No.
Where was that head skull from?
Age of Apocalypse. Morph.
Okay.
All I did was
Because I saw
add
Macho
the head
had that.
and
Macho.
then take some of the gloves from the tactical suit X-Men. So you have the yellow hands instead of the flesh colors.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Okay, so I'll need tactical suit X-Men.
You could probably also take it from Cyclops.
AOA, Morph, and then the cassette Morph. All right, that's only 30. So
I mean, you could also take. You could probably just get the AOA head and get the tactical suit and just take off Gambit's head. If you don't want the leather jacket, you want like comic book or an Toy Biz Morph. He didn't have the jacket.
okay.
I'm using it's yellow, but there was a Deadpool that came with like the head on the little tank, and then there was another yellow head, and it kind of looks. I don't know who that character was supposed to be for, or what it was for, but I threw that on as my morph body, just because it's just just to kind of have that look. But anyway, getting back to number 3, the amazing shot by Ender Shadow, who pointed out that there is that knockoff, I guess a quote unquote knockoff, where it's the custom. That's a whole thing that I haven't experienced yet in terms of like someone making a custom head for. I was very confused about that, but like he said, he makes it want to buy the whole thing, like to get the extra buck anyway. But yeah, that unmasked head sculpt that's floating out there does look pretty awesome. But here we go. So Ender Shadow says, the story behind the photo is I wanted to feel like Miguel was swinging into action in his year of 2099. I really don't have any dios, and the ones I do aren't cyberpunk or futuristic at all. So my friend Scott Blind inspired me with a photo he did over a year ago, and all he used for the background was bubble wrap. Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
I remembered how cool it was, and I just so happened to have a decent-sized piece of dark gray bubble wrap. I put it behind Miguel for the backdrop, and then put a thin dollar store white cutting mat behind it as to act as a diffuser, and put 2 Alonzi RGB lights behind it and adjusted the colors to a more teal and then a pink. I was hoping it would feel like he was swinging by or through a futuristic world. Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome. Really
awesome.
I love it. I love it. Again, like not everything needs to be done with dioramas, like you can use your imagination and get creative. Oh, that's great.
It's really cool. I actually I saw him pose this figure live on Go's one of Go's streams, and so I the pose is just perfect. So
Yeah.
great job.
And what's making Ender Shadow happy in the toy community right now? Well, that's just the sense of community and support most of it gives each other makes me happy. The positivity, enthusiasm, and constant positive words to encourage each other continue to make art makes me happy. He's been in the top 10 before, but it's first time making it into the top 5, which is a great feeling. So again, congrats. Even if I was dead last, I'd still be thankful and blown away that anybody got enjoyment or liked something I created enough to give it a thumbs up. So truly shocked when breaking the top 5. But thank you to the community for liking it, and congrats to the winner and the rest of the top 5. Truly great artwork. Yay!
That's awesome.
Thank you. Oh, you're the best, man. So, woo! Oh no. So congratulations to Ender Shadow, and again, man, thank you so much. I'm so happy I have some stickers now, like I was saying, to throw on my many accessory tackle boxes and figure boxes. And I really dig this look, for the record. I really like it on the Mezco.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That looks good. Congratulations, Ender Shadow. Fantastic photo, fantastic figure. We love you.
Before we get there, hold on. Look at this little thing it came with. Chris, look up.
I'm looking, sorry. I'm writing Toy Fix.
Came with this little pirate base.
That's from a ship.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
because he was sinking.
Yeah, it's nice.
As he pulled up to Tortuga. I think it was Tortuga.
I think you're right.
Lens.toy. I am going to be very interested into seeing how this was all constructed and put together. So it looks like we have a McFarlane based on the sculpted cape, if I had to guess.
That's definitely a McFarlane, yep.
Really nice Superman pose, though. Just it's again subtle and simple. You just need those feet and legs tweaked in that nice little way. He's looking good, looking down.
This has to be a Digirama, I would imagine. And I mean, it's such a classic. This was like one of my favorite scenes in the trailer for Man of Steel, because the trailer was like the best part of Man of Steel. I like the movie, but the trailer really hyped me up for it because it was so great. But when he's overlooking Earth like this, I think he had just gotten kicked out of the ship by what is oh gosh, it's so late. What is his name?
Brainiac? What are you talking about?
What part of the movie are you talking about? Superman Returns? Kicked out of the ship.
Lex Luthor?
I think Chris went mute for some reason. I mean, he is mute, but
Zod.
Thank you.
General Zod, yes. You know what?
Great scene. Great scene, guys. It was a great scene.
So here we go. I bought my first Superman. I mostly collect Mythic, so I'm expanding slowly to other lines, and I realize I only own a Batman from DC, which is why I decided to add it to the collection. It's a McFarlane Classic Superman version. I wanted to take advantage of the sculpt of the cape. It gave me a feeling of 0G, so the space floating Superman was a no-brainer. I took the picture with a light simulating the sun and with a black background. In Photoshop, I added the background, and the blend turned out really good. No other edits to the figure. Fun fact, in almost all the other pictures I took, I edited the cape to change the form. Very cool.
Nice job.
And so nice photoshopping, man. That's really excellent blending. Really nice. What's making him happy right now is I mostly enjoyed the good vibes. All are super positive, encouraging to others. So whether it's full-blown influencers or complete newbies, all of them, it's a breath of fresh air. And nothing else to add except for gratitude. I will continue to take pictures and share them with all. My Superman themed series is ending, but a new Star Wars themed series is coming. You're all invited to check it out. Sweet.
Nice. Very
Thanks
cool.
so much, Lens.Toy.
You're awesome.
JP, yeah, man. Like, again, congratulations for coming in second place. And this is really well done. Really nice job editing.
Good night, Enders.
Good night.
Oh, thanks for hanging out and keeping up with us, man. Appreciate you.
Vaughn.
And
Oh, we made it to number 1. Bonnie Rotten.
Bonnie Rotten. Man, this shot is so great, but like I based on all of his vapor work, I'm surprised like a vapor shot, like which again, this is going to be the first, I'm sure, of many times Bonnie Rotten will end up coming in number 1 because his stuff is just so good.
I think he came in number 1 one time before with a vapor shot.
Oh, was that was a number 1? I'm trying to remember. Was that when he was running down the street?
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Owl on.
Yeah, was that for? Oh man, okay. So never mind. In my face, second time. At least I'm not keeping track. There's too many people. I can't keep track of everybody's. But man, I love it. This is so good, and I'm assuming this is all like made in terms of that wall, right? Carved out, put your own trim on there. Yep, I figured.
Oh, and he has a probe lens. Oh, jealous.
Man, oh man.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
Yep. So freaking good. Oh, that's great.
Oh man, that's so cool.
What a trap.
Wait,
What a
is
trap.
that like a real trap?
Well, let us find out. Mitch gave us some awesome answers, so whoop, I had it there for a second.
That's some like you can
Might
get that
be.
flooring. You can get that flooring from like the Home Depot.
So here we go. This shot idea was one of those that kind of stares at you and eventually sinks in. I'd acquired a decent Tom and Jerry and a Patriot Studios Chainsaw Man and Woman in the same general time frame, so both were among the figures crowding my desk. The large bear trap and Jerry just seemed to be a good fit for a more itchy and scratchy type version, so I went with it. Jerry is an odd scale, so I had to make something look appropriate, to me at least. I panned down some wood to a good thickness and then routed out a profile to make the base trim. I jigsawed it roughly to look like it was gnawed, glued it to a Dollar Tree foam core board, then I added some insulation, a small explosion effect, and a spool of thread and some dirt, dust, and wood shavings along the base. I drilled a small hole into the cheese to plug in my homemade free sign. I used a wide-angle lens to really distort the size and proportion.
That's so cool.
That is cool.
That's, again, fantastic. I love it. The effort that went in there. What's bringing Mitch joy right now is nothing particularly different for me about the community lately. Same old story, just enjoying taking pictures, fun, and seeing what other people can come up with. I'd also like to give a special thanks to Stan Kubrick for the wonderful nomination. That's so great, man.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
the probe, you see his thing. The probe was not necessary for this. For this one, was it? The probe was not necessary for this. Just when I had it on.
When one has a probe lens,
You use the probe lens. Yeah.
uses probe lens.
This is really phenomenal, dude. Again, I noticed the gnaw work too. It wasn't just that you carved it out like that. You really put the sawdust.
Oh yeah, the little bit of dust. Like that's
That's perfect.
Great ad.
Yeah. And the thought of like, again, an explosion as insulation and the spool of thread. It just, it's great. It's great.
I love it.
Really nicely done. This might be a regret buy for me. He's okay.
I mean, I could have told you that when you ordered.
Someone make note of this man's bravery.
What?
I love it. That was good. That was a good Jack Sparrow.
But it was a quote from the movie. Actually, it wasn't Jack though. It was from now that I'm thinking of it. Where's the rum gone?
That was pretty good,
That's
actually.
not bad. That's not bad. Oh, awesome. Yimbo, do you want to buy him? It's Pirate Yimbo. Oh,
Nope.
I'm kidding. He's okay. I didn't pay a lot for him, so it's all right. I just thought
He'll
he'd
be
be a
fine.
little bit bigger. I
Yeah,
thought he'd be in scale with all the other Rebel Techs that we have.
that's what Chewie said.
Mhm.
All right. I guess that's it.
Fast
He's-
pass giveaway.
No.
We're not doing
That's a.
one?
I'm sorry you're not getting more enjoyment out of that
That's
toy,
around.
Chewie. I am. You know what? He does look really great.
He does
Take a
look
shot
good.
with him on the mast. Go watch the first movie. The first 3 movies are great. The first one is by far the best of the whole series, though.
Yeah.
In my eyes. So
That was like a Christmas time release. It reminds me of the holidays when I watched it. It was very magical when it came out.
don't give up on it. But I'm sorry you didn't have an immediate toy joy there.
It's my own fault. I should have looked at the size. That's my. I just kind of assumed it'd be in scale with all the other Rebel Techs.
I mean, if you use it in terms of a Toy Story, and you can use it with Woody and Buzz, because
He's
there's
small.
such a
He's smaller than Buzz. He's smaller. He's
Smaller
possibly
than
smaller
Buzz?
than Buzz. Yeah.
well, he's going to be in between the two of them, right? Like, just have it be
Yeah.
part of that
I'll-
crew.
I'll be fine with it. It's just judging from the size of the box. I was just like, oh, okay, cool. It's the same size as all the other ones. But yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
If you were
use-
waiting for,
Use hashtag small jack for the fast pass giveaway.
if you were waiting for the opportune moment, that was it. Another checks. I'm looking at.
Are you
check.
looking these up on your?
Now I am. This is the day you will always. This is the day you will always remember as the day you almost caught Jack Sparrow.
All right, I can play this game. Jack Sparrow quotes. I'll do
Why
my
fight
best,
when
Jack.
you can negotiate? Wherever we want to go, we'll go.
I love this song.
Not all Trevor's treasure is silver and gold, mate.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't finish this.
Oh, Jack Sparrow by Lonely Island. Yes.
Oh, yes. Very good. Michael Bowden. I love this song. Really? Bad eggs?
And really bad eggs.
Why fight when you can negotiate? I don't even know how he says these. I'm just making it up.
These are terrible.
Wherever we want to go, we'll go.
This is the tale of Chewie's regretful purchase.
Now I'm enjoying it. Keep going. Keep going.
That's all I got. In
He
terms of the
bought
all right,
it in Disney and then decided to wait list. 3 months later, he is Small Jack.
Small Jack.
that song was so good.
He's gonna be Small Jack from now on. Oh, I brought along Small Jack.
Small Jack.
So brave on the 7 seas.
I just
Mythical quest to the Tortuga.
the best is like the beginning dialogue when he's like, "Man, I just finished those Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Those are such fantastic movies. You guys seen them? Like, yeah, they're pretty good. Pretty good." Small
Spin?
Jack.
Oh, 3 entries? I mean, if that's all. It's rocking and rolling.
I'm spinning. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
I mean, we're only trying to help get some eyes on accounts, everybody.
It's all good.
We know it's late. And
Hey.
Ramat, hello. All right.
We're gonna do it again.
Awesome. But why is the rum gone?
Why is the room gone? Wait, again?
Yeah. Retro Storm, and I'm gonna do it one more time. I'm just gonna give away 3. There's only 3 of them.
Well, then why do we have to do another spin?
It won't even let me do the last spin. So, Body Rotten, Retro Storm, and Ravat. Actually, Retro Storm, you won last week's too. Let me know what you want to do with it.
Let me spin again.
Let me keep spinning. Yeah, you if you have a photo that you're interested in getting featured on the ToyPic community Instagram page, just message me that photo. You can hold on to it for a little while. There's no time limit. If you want to pass it forward to someone else that you know could use a little extra attention, a little extra love, that's okay to pass it forward as well.
And by the way, Retro Storm,
Retro Storm and Rabbit.
Retro Storm has this awesome April Fool's shot that I'm just seeing now of a stormtrooper getting turned pink with a red sock. That's amazing. It's great. Oh, love it, love it, love it, love it.
This was awesome, guys. Thank you guys so much. In the chat, you guys, Emily, fantastic photos this week.
Yeah,
Top
man.
10.
3-part show. We had the amazing show before the show with Emily, and we had our toy news segment, and then the fantastic top 10.
Tales of Small Jack.
Tales of Small Jack.
He's gonna take really great pictures. Watch the movie. Get inspired.
Wait, can we do? All right, let's do a single here. Okay. Oh wait, that's not what I want. We'll do. Let me take this. We'll do a single here. Okay. Now I want you to put Small Jack up there, and then Yimbo, I want you to do a Jack Sparrow voice.
Unite my toy collectors, photographers, and more. We had some fun tonight, but we're out of pictures to explore. We thank you for your time. It was nothing but sublime. Though it's time to go to bed, don't be filled with dread, because next week we'll be right here. Your toy daddies will appear to bring you joy and laughter every night and here on after.